And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of ESL Open Cup Asia, number 226, your weekly dose of Korean StarCraft. Welcome, everyone, to the CranKy Ducklings. I'm, of course, host Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, !B in the chat. If you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, the bracket is live. The bracket is packed full of players, even some returning players. I did notice in the chat, Trap is back. He is. Trap, of course, completed his military service, I want to say a week ago. I think a week or so ago, his military service did conclude, and Trap did announce his return to StarCraft. He is in the bracket, but we won't be featuring him yet. Maybe down the line, maybe further down in the bracket itself. We shall see, as we have our first matchup spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court. We have our Taiwanese Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. I remembered at the end it was Offside Esports, not just Offside. Representing Offside Esports, it is Rex. And in the top right-hand corner, we have the Chinese Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. He just took down Showtime 2-0 last night. It was wild what he accomplished, a massive upset in WTL. But now he's up against the Zerg player, representing CranKy Gaming. It is Jeshi. Here we go. I say last night, it was Friday night, my apologies, but Friday night we hosted Team Liquid versus Offside, and it was crazy. It was wild. Oh, sorry, my apologies. It was last night. I was looking at a different matchup. Last night it was DKZ, CranKy Gaming versus Basilisk, and Jeshi took down Showtime 2-0. He really won it all for his team. For DKZ, it was wild what he accomplished. Fun fact, both these players were actually talking about it earlier. Rex was saying, like, oh, all Protoss are powerful, and Jeshi was like, all Protoss are powerful, but not me. And then Rex is like, mate, you 2-0 Showtime. You're cracked, pup. You're cracked. Jeshi's like, nah. Just got lucky. Let's go. So yeah, Jeshi again has been accomplishing and getting better and better results, as have a lot of our Chinese Protoss players. Jeshi, Firefly, Cyan, they've all been improving so much over time. Likewise, though, so has Rex. He's had his own accomplishments as of late. I was looking at the series against Team Liquid. Again, we casted it on Friday, and Rex did take down Cure 1-1. It wasn't a 2-0 score, but did take a map off of Cure, so very impressive stuff here from Rex, showing that he can take it to some of the best of them out there. But now we're settling into our ZVP. And before we get ahead of ourselves, a big shout out as well to Babylings in the chat. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 24 months in a row. Quack, Bobby, quack. 24 months. That's a lot of months. That's 2 years of support. I can't believe it's already been 2 years. Thank you so much for all of the support. Gracias. Thank you so much. As we're settling into our ZVP, Adept's going to be shading in towards the main base. It does take advantage of the high ground, and with that, we don't quite get a drone quick. Spore trick there out of Rex, saving the drone at the third base. Very nice moves from our Zerg player. Adept does slip into the mineral line though, and we get one drone in the main. Only one worker so far, but the Adept does escape with all of his HP, only bleeding out shields, and will manage to get away. Behind this, Jeshi going into a Stargate opener. Again, everything's looking quite normal for the time being. Just a gate expand Cyber Core into a Stargate. This should be leading to a third base, and one of the big features of Crimson Court is you can expand linearly here at this third, which is quite secure. But never mind, we're taking the triangular third instead. Okay. Which means it's going to be a little bit faster. Otherwise, we would have had to mine through these minerals already. Speaking of, Rex does mine through the minerals on the right-hand side. He's looking for the third, but there is none. Rex fully anticipating a third base to have been taken, and alas, does check the wrong location. So Rex making the same assumption that I would have to expand here. Why not? That would just make sense. But apparently, Jeshi does end up diverting expectations there. Does end up heading elsewhere, as we're going for a Twilight Council follow, but we scout everything, by the way. The Overlord does have eyes on the Twilight Council. There's a very fast Twilight Council, checking the unit production here to Oracle. So we skip the third. Jeshi skipped his third Oracle in favor of the Twilight Council. This should be for Blink, but I'm curious. Yeah, all 4 gases have been taken. This should be for Blink. There is no Forge, there is no +1. I'm curious how this all comes together. Blink is on the way. Now, this looks like a very aggressive build out of Jeshi. The reason why I say that is, one, of course, Blink is going to be faster than normal, as the Twilight Council was rushed out. On top of that, there's no forge, which means we don't really have too much longevity in this game. This does feel like the beginnings of a 3-base all-in, but we've already scouted, so I wonder if Jeshi does divert from his original plan. Oracles get across the map. We get just the 1 drone. 2 drones in total. We get into the main base, pick up another worker before pulling back. The Oracles have taken quite a bit of damage at this point, but we do manage to fall back. We're droning up, throwing down our walls. Roachborn is in production as we speak. But again, my eyes are on Jeshi. Again, Blink's still about to be halfway done. Once it is, we can start moving out. We can support our army with these Oracles. I'm curious to see what Jeshi's able to accomplish with this army, with these Stalkers. Until then, we can see Rex just spreading his creep towards the right-hand side, taking his center fort base. It's just droning on up behind this. Rex droning up to 66 already, getting up to a good saturation here on 3 bases. The Oracles, they get another drone, but ooh, big overextension by Jeshi, losing 1 Oracle already. Oracle goes down, not an amazing amount of damage dealt here. Meanwhile, Jeshi does have his Stalker Force that we spoke about. He's taking his 4th base and pushing up behind it. Expanding behind his army, I should say. Behind this, we also have a Forge, +1. Forge is on the way, working on the rest of our tech. So we are working on that next step. But again, because Blink finished so quickly, Jeshi can be active on the map, does push out, shuts down some tumors, and threatens the bases. As we do push up the ramp. Roach getting in position, running that shade. Roaches, they do get it just in time. Queens as well. We do see Rex trying to hold the line. Roaches are going down though. It's just too much. Not enough Roaches, not in time. And Rex is being forced back. Lings are trickling in. We have more reinforcements on the way. Can Rex hold? It's going to be a tight hold here. These Stalkers are running out of shields. Blinks have been good, but again, we are running out of energy here. Running out of shields primarily. But we're breaking through. The trade is just a little bit too good. Rex is going to be losing control of this third base. As I say that, we have 9 more Roaches in production. Can we hold? It's so close, but here come the reinforcements of Jeshi. 4 Stalkers at a time. Jeshi did miss a warp in, by the way. Did end up missing a warp in. And with those reinforcements, we hold on. We keep on pushing. We shut down some of the Queens. We shut down all the Lings. That's 23 Roaches. 23 Roaches have gone down. This is the power of such a fast Blink, by the way. And here come the reinforcements. Jeshi, he has broken Rex. The Roaches are not out in time. The Queens either. Rex, he saw the fast Twilight Council, but again, he was a little bit too greedy. Did take him a little bit too long to get into this. And the base has been broken. The army as well. Boys are being pulled, but it's too little too late. As Jeshi is snowballing out of control. Getting 8 drone kills. Rex down to 59 workers. Behind this, Jeshi is on 75 probes. Has a booming economy. Has +1 charge, +2 has begun. Rex is shutting down some of these Stalkers. Oh, even violating down another. Good pick off there by Rex. But again, that costs him a lot. At least he saves the base. The hatchery does barely survive. But now we have Jeshi rotating around towards the center base. Does rotate around. The Roaches try to push forward. Getting a Stalker. I spoke too soon as we go for a hit squad, and we do snipe the hatchery. Hatchery goes down. Jeshi getting the hell out of here. Bleeding out Stalkers in the process. Ay, ay, ay. As he does bleed out Stalkers, we are able to go towards the center. We pick off 4 drones. We catch reinforcements. The Queens! We have 1 transfuse, but the Queens are going down. We bleed out 1, 2, 3, and 4. Every single Queen. Now, this is going to be a bit of a costly trade here from Jeshi. Losing all of his Stalkers. Big catch from Rex. Making use of that creep. But Jeshi still has a massive lead. Again, 80 probes to 60 workers here. Rex is stuck on 3 hatcheries. His production's being impacted as well. Limited larva. Just lost all of his queens. We have 1 queen left in between all these bases. No injections. No injects. Limited larva. Limited creep. Jeshi going for a split push, going for a Zealotry on the right-hand side. Charge is done, remember that. We're going for a denial on the 4th. We're pushing towards the center, and we are dropping into the main. A tri-pronged attack here from Jeshi. And Rex, he's been on the back foot this entire game. In reality, he still has to stabilize. He will catch the Immortal. Gets one. One Immortal goes down. At the same time, though, Zealots, they hit that 4th. Into the main, big warp in as well. Now, Rex will defend his 4th base. Let's clean up most of those Zealots. All of the Zealots, even. But we break into the main nonetheless. And it's just a numbers game at this point. Rex, he does take down another Immortal. Jeshi not making the best use of them. Leading out his Immortals, but the Zealots are trading well. And we're not done. We have another warp in. And GG gets called. Rex just cannot keep up, is overwhelmed, and Jeshi takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Jeshi. Again, a very quirky build as well to go for such a fast Twilight Council. Winding it back just as a reminder as to what the opener was. It looked like a standard opener, but Jeshi did only make 2 Oracles. He made 2. Usually you would make 3. We cut an Oracle, we throw down a faster Twilight Council into 4 gateways, and once we got up to a 3-base setup, once we started expanding towards a 4th, that was just in time for Blink to finish and to push out. And again, it was a very, very crisp timing there out of Jeshi. Remember, Rex did notice. Rex, he did recognize and did scout that there was a faster Twilight Council, and he did run up to 66, but again, it looked like he just barely was getting into his army a little bit too late. Just his roaches and reinforcements came out a little bit too late as Jeshi was pushing. And as a result, Rex couldn't hold on. His army was kind of caught out in segments and portions, and he was bleeding out a lot of roaches over time and just never was able to build up a proper army. Jeshi knocking Rex down before he could fully stand up. And with that, we're now getting into game 2. Also, shout out to Green Soup in the chat letting us know that apparently Raynor pulled out of today's tournament. Oh, that is a bit of a shame. Hopefully nothing serious, but apparently something came up and Raynor's not going to be competing here tonight. It's a shame, especially because looking at the bracket, I feel like Raynor could have had a deep run. Like, Raynor, he could have had a very deep run actually here in this tournament, but alas, he will be dipping out instead. But regardless, we have our own series to focus on, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Taiwanese Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as a opponent, we have the blue Protoss player from the land of China, representing CranKy Z Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Jeshi. Got a very crisp build in game number 1, very tight, and you can see that it hits like a truck as well. But I imagine we're going to be seeing Rex adapt over the course of this series here. He is that good of a player, so we'll see how Jeshi does adapt as well in game number 2. How does he adjust? How does he deviate? Again, usually in PvZ, we'd see the Protoss players kind of whip out different builds and different openers game to game to game. They have a lot of options available, and it's usually on the Zerg player to react. To scout, to react, to keep up the Protoss. Here we go. For now, gate expand, standard opener by our Protoss player. Likewise, hatch gas pool, force take the unnatural natural, but outside of that, Rex getting into his own standard opener as well. There's no early gases, there's no 2-gate opener, for example, from the side of Jeshi. Everything looking by the book so far. So far. Again, when it comes to Jeshi's follow-up, that's where we have to start paying attention. You know, how many oracles does he make? Does he even go Stargate first, or even a Twilight Council first instead? Do we get a Forge? Do we not? We'll try to piece together what Jeshi is up to. We're on it, Pat. We're on it. Just catching the chat. Oh, hello, Ligo. Ligo BBQ. Hello, hello. Bienvenidos. I see Wormchick in the chat. Shema, papi, Shema. Thibs72. We do have a command, !B or !brackets in the chat. We do always have links to our brackets whenever we have them. As a reminder as well, as every single week there is a delay. There is a 2-minute delay on stream for our ESL Open Cups. And as always, we're always live on YouTube as well. You know, this entire year we've been streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and we've been growing our audience on YouTube as well. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Bienvenidos, everyone. Bienvenidos. As you have to shade out, it's going to be indeed that Stargate opener here out of Jeshi. Last game, the Adept was only able to kill one drone, but we'll see what else we can get this time. What more we can get here in game 2 as we do shade in. We shade into the main base. So far, good control out of Rex. He will bleed out one Ling. Drone, oh, does not morph in the Spore in time. Second drone was, so one worker goes down. But that's a lot of hull damage here on the Adept. Meanwhile, it is not an Oracle, it is a Void Ray first. Let's go. So Void Ray first here by Jeshi. Now the goal here is to shut down the Overlords, is to keep the tech hidden, and we go many different ways from here. We can go double Stargate into a fast Fleet Beacon, into like a Tempest Rush, a Carrier Rush. We can go into double Stargate Phoenix. We can go into a fast Twilight Council into Glaive Depths. We can go for a charge based all in. There's a lot available here, and it's going to be that much more difficult for Rex to scout. Now, on the flip side, because Jeshi is delaying and he's not going to be making as many oracles, he does have an oracle on the way, but he won't be able to harass and keep an eye and keep tabs on Rex as much as he would in a standard game. So Rex is going to be in the dark. Likewise, Jeshi will have a little bit less scouting information as well. As the Void Ray is pushing out, Rex getting supply blocked. Interesting. We are going into a fast forge. Very fast. A fast forge like this usually means fast +1. It usually means a +2 timing. This is what I'm reading from here. Otherwise, this could be a fast forge into a robo. Oh, yeah, Twilight Council's on the way. Okay. But these are very fast upgrades here from Jeshi. I'm curious, actually. I'm curious if this is going to be like a +2 blink timing, or maybe even +2 Colossus timing. Speaking of, the Robo is now on the way. Are we going to rush into a bay? That's what I'm curious about. Like, regardless, just very tech heavy here. Again, this is all off of 2 gateways. Lings, they move out across the map. Void Ray's in position back at home. Rex going for his lair, going for a faster Roach Warren, safety Roach Warren timing here, to make sure he's ready for something like Glaive Adepts. Charge is on the way. Now, I'm curious if we're going to be getting into Immortals or if we're taking up even more. I'm leaning along the lines of, like, Immortal Archon Charge Lot. We'll see. That's the Gateway Explosion. 4 gates on the way. It's going to be 6 gates in total. Did I say 6? 7 gates in total, and we may as well go up to 8. If we do, I'm feeling a 3-base all in. Oh, meanwhile, Rex going for his own aggression. We're amassing roaches. We have Overlord speed on the way. You can see that Rex is cutting drones. He is not saturating his 3rd base. He's cutting workers here at 50. What does that mean? I'm feeling a push. Rex, yep, there we go. No more drones in production. We have Lings and Roaches. Nothing but Lings and Roaches on the way. Meanwhile, we do see Jeshi going for his Temple Archives. It's going to be for Archon production. Again, Jeshi, he's just now getting into his tech, just now getting into his production. But where is the army? This is the army. Uh-oh. We have a handful of Zealots. We have a handful of Sentries. Meanwhile, here comes the all-in from Rex. The Jumper Lords are amassing to ferry the Queens across the map. We have our highway set up as well. It's all or nothing for Rex, and Jeshi does not really have much to work with. He's got the one Immortal, he's got he's got Storm on the way. +2 should be starting up momentarily as well, because we rushed into +1. Which is why we assumed it was going to be a +2 timing. But now is not the time to invest into +2, because here comes the all-in! And now Jeshi knows. Now he knows what's going on. Do we have any shield batteries? We have 1 shield battery and 1 cannon here at the 3rd base. That's not going to be enough. Yeah, Jeshi is in trouble. There we go. Now we have some backup shield batteries. 2 more shield batteries in production. Rex, he checks the 4th. Does force a cancel. He is giving Jeshi quite a bit of time here to recover. To stabilize. Morphing in more Archons. Warping in more Zealots. We do have Sentries. We have some Force Fields. Force Fields are thrown down. Files on the Sentries. Ooh. Will not connect. The Archon, can we get within range of the shield battery? We can! The Archon lives. Just barely. The Archon does survive. Lings are being shut down. Roach Ravager pushing forward. We do get the cannon. And there's the overcharge. We do pop the overcharge here. We ran out of Zealots. Shield battery, it barely does go down. But the Immortals and the Archons, the high-tech units have survived. That's what's important right now. We go for the feedbacks. Archons being morphed in. Do we have some way to juggle? We do not. No War Prism. Immortal goes down, but it looks like Jeshi he has held. We get on top of the Queens. We clean up the creep. We shut down the Overlords. That was a tight defense there from Jeshi. Again, the force fields were key. The Archon surviving as well. It was a very, very delayed scout and very delayed reaction out of Jeshi, but he makes it. He survives. And now Rex is in trouble. Rex only just now starting Roach Speed. And there's no Evo Chambers. There's no upgrades. Why? Because we were all in. On top of that, our drone count is very low as well. 43 drones. Ay. That's not much at all to work with. As yeah, from here, Jeshi, he has a death ball of an army. Remember how we rush into +2? Now we have +3. +3 is on the way compared to the 0-0 of Rex. It's going to be 0-0 versus +3, which is brutal. And here comes the army. Storm is done, by the way. Again, Jeshi rushed in. Like, he got away with so much. It is wild that Jeshi survived the all-in despite taking up so much. And now he's in an insane scenario. He's in an insane position here. He just has such a lead. The Biles! Ooh, we take down one of those High Templar. Very nice Biles. We graze an Immortal. Big storms on the Ravagers. We have one storm left. We would have had another. Link counterattack does catch an Immortal. Slips into the main base. Oh, doing our best hero impression. The wall is not a wall. And Lings, they bust into the natural. You know, Jeshi, he kills the third. He's going for the fourth. The reality is, even though these Lings are getting some damage done, probes are going down, this pales in comparison to what Jeshi's doing. He kills 2 bases and he can keep pushing. Ooh, Immortal is caught out. Still no War Prism, by the way. The Immortal should fall. Oh my god, does pull back. No! Roach, they barely bring it down, but there's still a good trade here. GG gets caught. Jeshi survives the all-in, and he does get out of control. And Jeshi will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Jeshi as he does take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. Very impressive defense there. Again, he had so little time to react, but at the same time, all of his gateways and all of his tech was all just kind of coming to a head there for the defense, and he barely was able to hold on. It did also come down to his control, his micro. Likewise, Rex also had a hard time maneuvering through all those, I almost said shield batteries, through all those force fields as well. Did bleed out a lot of units. And GG. Congratulations to Jeshi. He is not random. There we go. Congratulations. And with that, we are going to be getting into our next game. We're going to be heading towards our next series. Speaking of, exclamation mark B in the chat. Let's have a look at the bracket and try to find where we are headed. Let's go. Let us go. Oh, as I should even check the bracket as well. Hold on, you need to set that up. Un momento. Beautiful. There we go. We have the bracket ourselves. Let's refresh and see if we have any updates from the top. Happy from the top. I should go from the bottom just in case. Okay, from the bottom. We have, oh, Rex waiting in the next series. We have our next series. Speaking of, we'll follow you. I think I said Rex. Dark. Dark is waiting in the next series. It's going to be Jeshi versus Dark in the next round. Let's go. Make sure I don't get left behind. But these ex-teammates are going to be facing off. And we are going to be jumping on that as soon as we can. Meanwhile, let's quickly go over all of our other matches. Search Talon Esports. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, from the top. Sorry, from the bottom. So we have Dark versus Jeshi up next, followed by Creator up against YKAX. Winner goes up against Hero. So most likely going to be Creator versus Hero. Winner of that goes up against the winner of Jeshi and Dark in the quarterfinals. Scrolling up, we have Trap versus Classic. We spoke about him earlier, but again, Trap has returned from the military. He has been back for like a week or so, and we'll see how far he can go. Classic is no easy opponent. It's a really rough first round, so best of luck to Trap. I hope he can do well, but Classic's gonna be favored there, going up against Firefly in the round 16. Firefly did 2-0 Rebellion. Solid result there from Firefly. Scrolling up, we have Jin versus DRG in a PVZ. They are currently facing off. Winner goes up against Byun in the round 16. We have Gumiho, he just took down Control 2-0. Cyan took down Luna C 2-0. We have Gumiho versus Cyan in that round of 16. Bunny up against Chris. We did see a walkover. We did mention earlier that Raynor, unfortunately something came up, and Raynor did end up forfeiting in this tournament, so Raynor will not be a part of this. As a result, this portion of the bracket is going to be a little bit easier for our players. We'll see who makes it through between Bunny, Cyan, and Gumiho into the semifinals. Meanwhile, Shin versus Oliveira, Cure versus Nightmare, as Nightmare just 2-0'd Silky. Oh boy. So yeah, we have plenty of representation here from all around the world, or I said all around the world, from all of the races. You know, we have Cure, we have Oliveira, we have Bunny, we have Gumiho, we have Byun for the Terrans. For the Protoss, we have Nightmare, Hero, Classic. For the Zergs, we have Dark, we have Shin, and we have a good array of kind of representation. DRG as well. They are all spread out, and we'll see who can make it into those semifinals. Vetoes are currently underway between Dark and Jeshi. Once they're done, we're jumping into our next series. Once they are done. Until then, though, personally, I'm looking forward to the would-be Dark versus Hero. I mean, they face off week after week, and I think last week we missed them. Last week we did miss Dark versus Hero, so I want to try to make sure we can get there this time, unless there's an upset. You know, to be fair, Jeshi has been on fire as of late. I look forward to it. Here we go. We're diving into game number 1. It's going to be on Crimson Court. Catching up. I like the YouTube double stream. I prefer the VODs there. Yeah, 100%. VODs are a lot more easier to consume on YouTube. What is the standard timing for the Forge when not all-inning? So Forge timing would be after the Stargate, after the third base gets thrown down alongside the Twilight Council. I'm sure we'll see it at some point in this series, as here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Crimson Court. We have our red Zerg player representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Dragon Kai Z Gaming. Dark Soul Team, DKZ, it is Jeshi. Too bad Trap had to match up versus Classic in the first round. Yeah, that is a brutal turn of events. Trap versus Classic, it's such a shame. I mean, I am kind of riding Trap off a little bit as Dark is going for the center base. Up, sends out 2 drones, and he will expand at his natural. Dark is one of the few players that does this. He sends out 2 drones. He goes for a standard hatchery timing, but he sends out 2 drones to try to make sure he is able to get a base on location if possible. The probe does hesitate, and we're able to expand where we need to. It is a little bit inefficient because Dark does have 2 drones being active. That's why Dark is the only player that does this. Usually if we're casting Serral or Raynor, they would just freely take the third instead. They would just take the third base or go for a 15-15. Dark instead willing to play a little bit inefficiently just so he can get his base where he wants it. Let's go. So Hatch got spool here out of Dark. Still in chat, around 7 minutes in a macro game. Yes, I think that's around the timing. Around the timing that we are looking for. As Jeshi is just going to be scouting the main base, making sure that everything's on the up and up. Again, Dark is a very aggressive and very unpredictable player, so Jeshi just trying to keep tabs on it. No! As the scouting probe goes down, oh, a bit of miscontrol there out of Jeshi, and already Dark, he has quite an advantage. From here, he could stay in gas. He's pulling out, but he could have stayed in gas. We could throw down a fast Roach Horn. We could go for a Roach Rush. We could go for some aggression, or we could not. Regardless, Jeshi is that much more in the dark. Usually that probe would escape and would check for the third, would delay the third base if at all possible, make sure that it gets thrown down before pulling back. Speaking of the third, Dark going for the center base here. Okay. A very aggressive base. Now, usually if a Zerg player takes the center base, it is indicative of a roach push later on, as creep is going to spread so quickly across the map from this location. On top of that, we have access to the Rich Vesting Gas Geyser. With this Gas Geyser, roaches are a lot more tempting here and a lot more viable. They're easier to mass up. Can be quite impactful to rush into that gas. And Jeshi does confirm. Ooh, Jeshi going for a Void Ray opener. Okay. Once again, Jeshi spicing things up, going for the Void Ray first. Now, once again with this Void Ray opener, the goal is to hunt down Overlords and to have some hidden tech behind this. Now, if you remember last game when we had a Void Ray opener on Oceanborn, this led into fast forge, into fast upgrades. If you remember, like, Jeshi had +3 so damn quickly against Rex as the game progressed. But I imagine this will be something different. This could be a fast Twilight Council, this could be a second Stargate. Overlord is coming in for a scout. The Void Ray does miss the Overlord, but instead we're going across the map trying to catch another. Queens are pushing forward. And third base is going to be saved. Speaking of, Jeshi taking his own third behind this. Going for the linear third base location, a lot safer. Especially because Dark did not expand here at the triangular base location. It means that Jeshi can be a little bit greedier and can safely expand here towards the left-hand side. Early Roach Horn. Ooh, early Roach Horn here from Dark. This was what? 350-ish? 355 Roach Horn timing? Ay, ay, ay. And you would not get it this early if you were up against Stargate. Yep, gases have been taken here at the forward base. Creep is spreading, and it looks like Dark is getting ready for a push. Behind this, once again, Fast Forge. Oh. Fast Forge from Jeshi. Now, what's important is Dark is going to hit faster than Rex. It's similar playstyles, where Rex also went for an all-in, if you remember. Rex, he went for his lair, he went for Overlord speed, he went for a Drop Lord push across the map. This is without a lair. There's no lair. We're cutting workers at 39. If you remember, Rex droned up to 53. He went up to like 2.5 base saturation. Dark, essentially 2 base saturation. 2 base saturation, fast Roach Horn, we're waddling across the map. No lair is required, no Drop Lords are required. The Oracles will kill some workers, but Dark, he's going for the kill. And what does Jeshi have? No blink, no charge, no upgrades, no nothing. He does have a forge, but what is that really going to do for him? He can throw down cannons, but that's it. The wall's on the wall! The wall is wide open. Dark rocks up. He shuts down the pylons, shuts down the side defense. 4 drones are down. The Oracles are putting in a lot of work. But here come the Queens. And the Queens have arrived. Files as well, forcing back that Void Ray. 1 Oracle goes down. More Queens are soon to arrive. And the natural base is being broken. We're busting in. Ooh, no cancel. Those are kills on the shield batteries. And the Warpins are being denied. These gateways can be depowered. We're just going for probe kills instead. And these Oracles, they're running out of NG. They're running out. Cybercore gets sniped. And we're just flooding links across the map. We have broken the natural. We're on top of the third base. And Jeshi's, his bases, they've been compromised. There's no defenses left. GG gets called, and Dark takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Oh boy, again, Dark being much more decisive and much more aggressive here in game number 1. We did have signs of aggression initially with that forward base, as we were mentioning. Again, if you take the forward base, that can lead into a roach all-in because of the creep that's spreading quickly across the map because of that rich vesting gas geyser. But it isn't 100%, right? It isn't a sure thing. So it was something in the back of our minds. I'm sure it was something in the back of Jeshi's mind. We spoke about this before. Because Jeshi went for a Void Ray, because he did not go Oracle, he had less opportunities to scout. If you go Oracle first, you zoom across the map and you check the drones. You check the drones, you check the queens, you check what is being produced. Void Ray first can leave you a little bit vulnerable to that sort of thing because it takes you longer to actually get a read on what exactly is happening. And on top of that, the build of Jeshi, it's not designed to defend against that sort of thing, as we're going for a 15-15. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have a red Zerg player representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss from the land of China representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. Down to this series, let's see if he can bounce back. It is Jeshi. But yeah, winding it back, it wasn't just the execution of Dark's build, it was also Jeshi being hard countered in a way. Jeshi going for a Forge so quickly, as we mentioned, it really hits its stride with +1 and +2, with upgrades, which take time. It takes time to get into those upgrades. And what do you forfeit in favor of that Forge? A faster blink timing, faster charge, you know, a robo with immortals, like any other tech structure would have been more beneficial there. The Forge did absolutely nothing for Jeshi in game 1. It hurt him more than it helped him. Again, because 1, because he didn't know there was an all-in, but 2, because he was going for his own greedier playstyle. And now we're getting into game 2. Calming things down, it's going to be a gate expand into Cybercore, standard opener here by Jeshi. As I mentioned before, Dark did go for a 15-15. 15 hatchery, 15 spawning pool. This is a bit of a safer build. I mean, I say that. Gases are already being taken. The way this works, a 15 hatchery timing, the timing of this base is actually before the probe scouts. By the time the probe gets here, the hatchery is already thrown down, so it won't be disturbed. You won't be forced to expand elsewhere like you otherwise would. So again, a safer opener here from Dark. Does also mean that his link speed is later than usual. So delayed link speed here from Dark as well. To make use of this build, or this opener, maybe a better way of putting it. As Jeshi is once again going for a Stargate. Okay, so we have our Stargate opener from Jeshi, but we have seen quite a lot from him. Do we go Void Ray first again? Do we go for an Oracle? What's it going to be? Void Ray, Oracle, Phoenix even? That's another possibility. And we'll see where Jeshi takes us from there. Mark scouting out with his Overlord, trying to get a read on things. Adept gets across the map, burning a shade. And the Adept does come into the shade. We get one Ling in the main. Taking a lot of damage, going for the mineral line. Oh! Ooh, and one drone goes down. Bit of miscontrol there out of Dark. Because he pulled 2 drones away, they were kind of in each other's way to throw down a Spore. So one drone does fall, but the Adept barely does escape. Once again, a Void Ray opener. Now the question becomes, is this going to be the same build? Does Jeshi go for a Void Ray into a Forge again? Or do we have something different? I'm hoping for something different. I'm hoping for it. All-ins are not unheard of here on Oceanborn. Void Ray into Oracle, we're looking to expand, taking our 3rd base. And we are still waiting for our tech. Overlord does manage to get in. And because of Void Rays across the map, this Overlord is going to be able to see everything. Going for one of the other Overlords. And we will get it. One Overlord goes down. And we should be able to kill this 2nd Overlord as well. So good pick off by Jeshi. The downside is, again, I feel like his tech is delayed, and I'm not sure if he wants to throw anything down until the Overlord is killed. Oracle across the map. Second Oracle's on the way. There's our Forge once again, and Dark sees it. Uh-oh. Dark, he sees the Forge. Bearing in mind as well, this Forge is delayed compared to the normal timing. Forge into Twilight Council. Okay. Things are looking a little bit more normal. The Forge was still a little bit faster, so again, faster +1, faster +2. But the Twilight Council is not too far delayed from here. As you saw previously, I imagine this is going to be for Charge. Could be for Blink as well. We'll keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on Jeshi. So we have a Baneling Nest on the way. Dark, not going Roaches. Interesting. Basically, we'd see one or the other. We'd see a Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren. We have chosen the Baneling Nest here. We are amassing Lings as we speak. Flare is on the way. Fourth base under fire. Queen's reposition. We dive on top of the Oracles. Very good positioning here. Dark takes down one. The other does slip away. But a good pick up. Bearing in mind that Dark has lost one drone so far. The Void Ray! It's right-clicked on the hatchery, and it will go down as well. Jeshi falling apart a little bit, and Dark is going for a Bane Bust. Cutting workers at 55. We're massing Lings across the map. Baneling Nest is done, and Banelings can now be morphed in. And with the Void Ray going down, Jeshi's in trouble. What does Jeshi have? He has 2 Adepts. Uh-oh. He has 2 Adepts and 2 Sentries. Darky backs off for now. The Oracle's keeping tabs on things, so we can't morph in any Banelings. And Dark is droning. Okay, Dark, he sees the Sim City, he recognizes his position, does back off, he's droning, saturating his 4th, poking back in. Dark just trying to catch anything in between these bases. Oh, almost gets a probe. Almost does get a worker. We can see that it is going to be Charge, plus Archons and Immortal Production, +1's about to finish. We can go into Fast +2. This is the same playstyle that Jeshi went for against Rex in game number 2. On this very same map, actually. Same map, same build. Immortals and Archons are amassing. Meanwhile, Dark is going Lingbane Hydra. Already taking up into those Hydras, getting a 5th base, shooting up to 77. Soon to be 80. Now there's gonna be a bit of a give and take here. On the one side, I like Jeshi's composition that he's working towards. Storm is on the way. We're gonna have Storm, we're gonna have Archons, we're gonna have Immortals, we're gonna have Sentries. Sentries is gonna be that much more important here because there are no Ravagers. Because there's no Roach Warren, there's no Ravagers, which means Force Fields have that much more power for the Protoss. On the flip side, Dark is already, like, droned up. He's already droned up to 80. He's on 79 workers. He's maxed out on workers, basically, and he's looking to max out with his army. And with the superior economy, we could tech up into a Hive, or we could just max. Dark, he wants that 4th base. You can see Dark just skyrocketed in supply. Storm is going to finish, though. And Storm is going to be crucial against this army. Again, it's all things light. Lingbane Hydra, vulnerable to storms. But where are the High Templar? They're a little bit further back. We're pushing into the 4th. Force Fields are thrown down. We buy some time. Banelings try to roll in. There's that first Storm on the Hydras. Ooh, High Templar goes down. A big pickup. We collapse on the Zealots. We shut them down. And we're going for the Sentries. The Hydra's trying to break through. 20 probes did go down as well. The other Hydras, sorry, the other High Templar, they weren't able to make it. High Templar going down, and Dark, he's able to break Jeshi before it could really get things going. +2 still on the way. Immortal Archon still on the way. But again, Dark was the first to max out, the first to push. There was only one Storm. The others were forced to morph into Archons. And Dark, he's broken the 4th, and he has broken Jeshi. GG gets called. Dark takes the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here. Ooh, congratulations to Dark, as he does take the series 2-0. Again, a very powerful showing here. Once he recognized what was going on, he knew that he would be safe to drone. He droned up very quickly to 80. and was able to amass his Lingbane Hydra. And we saw that Jeshi, he just needed, I mean, I say he just needed, it would have been different if he had his Storms in position. If he had his High Templar with his army, we saw one High Templar push forward with the Storm, the other High Templar, the other three were at the they were at the third base, and they were engaged with Lings, and they had to morph into Archons, and they were shut down. No more Storms. No more Storms for Jeshi. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations to Dark, as it does advance on, and the question becomes, is anyone waiting for it? Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Just quickly checking here. Okay. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back of yourselves. Let's go from the bottom just so we can catch up. Oh, there we go. We have Dark versus Jeshi, which did just conclude. Meanwhile, we have Hero versus Creator in a PvP. They are currently mid-series. I can see that they're 4 minutes into their game. And it looks like, I think they're being casted by Inu, actually. Let me just double check, but I believe they are being casted by Into the Inu, which is the Korean caster. I think they're being casted by Koka as well. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay. So, Hero versus Creator, they're in Game 1. They're currently in Game 1, which means we're going to be joining mid-series into Game number 2. It's being casted by Inu in Korean and Koka in French. So Hero versus Creator is going to be up next. We're just going to be waiting for that first game to finish up, and then we'll jump in. That is going to be the plan. Meanwhile, we have some other updates as well. Scrolling up, we have Byun. We have Byun versus Jim. Mid-series. Whoa, wait, hold up. What? I can't gloss over that. Jim took down DRG. Very impressive. GG, well played. Jim takes down Dong Rei Gu 2-0 as well. That is a very impressive result. DRG is no slouch. So that's a very big win for Jim. Takes down DRG up against Byun in the next round. We have Classic taking down Trap. Oh. We have Classic take down Trap 2-1. Trap took a game. Impressive. Likewise, impressive stuff. Trap may not have won a series, but he did take a game. Do love to see it. Congratulations here to Trap for bouncing back here and taking a game after being back for a week. Did fall, but a solid result nonetheless. We have Gumiho take down Cyan 2-0. Gumiho is up against Bunny in the quarterfinals. And no other updates from there, but here we go. We're diving into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Dragon KZ Gaming, DKZ. It is Hero. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Club NV. It is Creator. We go Hero versus Creator. We did miss out on game 1. Apparently it was a short game. I think it lasted like 7 minutes. And Hero did take it in the end. Did mention before that it is being casted by some of the other community casters in other languages. And I think Wardy is also casting this as well. Usually we try to avoid each other. So it's a little bit awkward, but we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. Regardless, we're loading into Ghost River. It's going to be a 2-gate opener from Hero, 2-gate opener from Creator. Hero may have a lead, but Creator is definitely a player of the caliber to take games and take maps and take series off of Hero. He's done it before. He can do it again. We'll see if he can. For now, we are just scouting each other, keeping an eye on each other. Second pylon has been thrown down in the main for both players, so no one is proxying. No one is being too crazy. Not yet. Not yet here. As we're just waiting for our first units of choice, Cybercores are done and shows our units. It's going to be double Stalker for Creator, double Stalker for Hero. Okay. So far, so good. We are mirroring each other. Now, with a double Stalker opener, we're vying for map control. We're going to be pushing out, and we're going to be engaging with each other. We'll see who moves out first. I mean, both probes are going to be scouting the initial units. We get a pylon block from Creator as he backs off. Hero likewise pulling back as well. When he does get eyes on both Stalkers, will be shut down. Meanwhile, Hero with his own 2 Stalkers is going to be able to expand back at home. We're going for a Robo Opener and a Gateway! One base all in. Hero, he does mask his build. Pylon is going to be cancelled. The Stalkers are shut down. He's pushing up a ramp. And Hero shoots first. Hero does shoot first. He gets some extra volleys as well. It does come out ahead here in this trade. Creator forced to retreat. And what does this mean? This means that Creator sees nothing. Remember, no sentry. No sentry follow-up. He has no vision across the map. He's going for a Stargate. He's going for Oracles. Meanwhile, Hero is doubling down on Gateway units. Here comes a Prism across the map. Remember, Hero is one base all in. And Creator has no idea to get ready for it. He's got a Shield Battery at the natural, Shield Battery in the main. Getting ready for Proxy Oracle, or for Oracle Harass, essentially. Creator covering his bases. Trying to make sure he's safe against everything. Which means a specialized build like this can catch him off guard. Here we go. It's all or nothing for Hero. At the same time, Creator is going across the map. Now, there is no Shield Battery in the middle line. This Oracle can get a lot done. This Oracle can kill a lot of probes. But the reality is that what use is that if Hero kills you? What do we have? We can warp in 2 Stalkers at a time. We have 3 Stalkers in total. Shield Battery, we have an overcharge. And here we go. Hero does commit. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, we can focus down the Shield Battery. Across the map, probes are going down, forcing a warp in. A second Oracle's moving out. And Hero, as long as we can micro well, we can break through. A couple of Adepts are going to be going down. We don't quite juggle, we don't quite save them. But the Stalkers, that's what we are saving. Yeah, good micro here from Hero. Hero, he does lose 14 probes across the map, though. Every single worker goes down. Hero is completely all in. And what do we have to work with? We have 1 Stalker. We soon have a Void Ray. We're depowering the gateways. No more warp-ins. Again, the Oracles, they did a lot of damage. But there's just nothing to defend. That's the reality here. There's 1 Void Ray, 1 Sentry, 1 Stalker. And the overcharge is about to run out. Now, these Stalkers are low. Can Creator pick them up? Oh my god. Good juggling here from Hero. He does save his Stalkers. Does juggle back. Yeah, the micro is more than good enough. And Creator is being overwhelmed. We're down to 8 Stalkers. And he breaks through, takes out the Stalkers. The Void Ray does escape, but we have control of the main. And it's going to be 1 Oracle and 1 Void Ray versus the army of Hero. And Hero has done it. He has done it. He depowers everything. No one has any workers. Creator, okay, the best chance for Creator is stasis, right? If he throws down a stasis trap, if he's able to catch like half of the Stalkers, then maybe he can fight the other half with the rest of his army. Like, that's maybe the best opportunity here, the best chance. The problem is that Hero has no reason to engage. He can just focus down the buildings. We're going in. No stasis, just going for the kill. And Void Ray goes down. GG gets called. There's no way to deal with this army, and Hero will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Hero as he does take the series 2-0, and he advances on into the next round where Dark has been patiently waiting for him. Let's go. GG, well played. Congratulations. Again, unfortunately, Creator just had no vision. He had no idea that Hero was all in. Had no idea what was happening. And because of that, he was caught with his pants down. He did kill a lot of probes across the map, that is true, but again, he wasn't ready for an all-in. He wasn't ready for that kind of army. And he was overwhelmed in the end. Otherwise, we would have seen, you know, maybe even a third gateway, another shield battery in the main base as well. We would have given up on the main a lot sooner. Given up on the natural a lot sooner is what I meant to say. Defended the main, defended the ramp. We would have seen a different kind of defense from Creator. Regardless, we have our quarterfinals. Here we go. Our players, they're just conducting their vetoes as we speak. The vetoes are underway. And once they're done, we can dive into game number 1. Meanwhile, do we have any other updates? I'm curious. Here. Let's see. From the top. We have Cure versus Nightmare still ongoing. They're still mid-series. Nightmare did recently 2-0 Cure. So Cure, I'm sure he wants his revenge. We'll see how they do engage with each other. Scrolling down, we have Shin versus Oliveira in a ZVT. It's a spicy series. I look forward to it. And but wish them both the best of luck. Could go either way. Scrolling down, we have a TVT. We have at least one Terran confirmed for the finals. Yeah, we have one Terran player, either Bunny or Gumiho. I favor Gumiho in that series, but Bunny is still a force to be reckoned with as well. So we'll have at least one Terran there advancing on. Meanwhile, Beyond, we just got an update. Beyond did take down Jim 2-0. Jim did amazingly taking down DRG, but it looks like that success was short-lived as Beyond does knock him down. He's waiting for his Protoss opponent, either Firefly or Classic. That could go either way. I favor Classic, but Firefly has caused upsets before, and he can take it to Classic. That could go to the ace match. I look forward to it. Wish them both the best of luck. And we have our series here. Hero versus Dark in those quarterfinals. Winner moves on to the semis. When it comes to our plan for the stream, we are going to be following Hero and Dark into the semifinals, and if their opponent isn't ready, we're most likely going to be casting Björn versus his Protoss opponent. We're going to be focusing here on the lower half. This lower half of the bracket is where we have our attention. We can maybe cast the upper semifinals if these games up here take a little bit longer. If our games are shorter, if their games are longer, then maybe we can cast the upper semis. It depends. Does depend on that kind of factor. So I do apologize, like, if you wanted to tune into some of these other matches, and they're really good, don't get me wrong, like Cure, Nightmare, Shin, Oliveira, Bunny, Gumiho, they're all amazing players. I would love to cast everything, but usually whenever we start, like, in an area, we kind of, like, stick to it. So our main focus is going to be down here. Instead. Otherwise, vetoes are underway. Just catching up with the chat. Hey, looking forward to see Dark versus series. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a fast series as well. I can guarantee. Usually is between the two of them. They're very chaotic players, which is why it's always entertaining to see them face off. Rip desk? Oh no. I mean, you know, Creator, he wears his heart on his sleeve. We have a little love for Creator, a little love. Unfortunately, it does go down here in the round of 16. And yeah, outside of that, oh, there's a bit of a conversation going on. I do have my Google Translate on hand. 안녕하세요. 아니모. Let's fix that bracket. I see. Dark is saying, yo, what is the conspiracy here? Like, what's going on with the bracket? Why am I facing off against Hero in the quarterfinals? That's what Hero is saying. And sorry, that's what Dark is saying, and Hero is laughing. But it's true, like, it's very frequent that Hero and Dark face off early on. Inu added. He said, we meet again today in the quarterfinals. Again. It always happens. How many times in a row? Why? This is a conversation between Hero and Dark. But Hero is saying, how many times in a row? Why? Why do we keep facing in the quarterfinals? There is a conspiracy. True. Dark is like, I just gave up. He gave up on wondering why. I'm just line by line, I'm putting it into Google Translate. Alright, they're vetoing now, they're vetoing. Hero, he vetoes Amphion, and Dark is like, you don't like playing Protoss? Why'd you veto Amphion? Oh, you want me to win? What does Hero say in response? Okay. I think you're saying there's a lot of options to veto. There's a lot of options. It's pretty good. Okay. We have our map order. It's gonna be Crimson Court, followed by Oceanborn, followed by Side Delta. Let's go. Here we go. Vetoes are done. Lobby has been made, and we're diving into game number 1. As a reminder, the winner moves on to the semifinals as well. I would say that these two are some of the favorites to take the entire tournament, but here we go. We'll see if that's going to be the case. We'll see who does make it even further here into ESL Open Cup Asia 226. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Crimson Core, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Dragon KZ Gaming. DKZ, it is Hero. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Talon Esports, it is Dark. Let's go. Dark versus Hero. Hero going for a gate expand, standard opener from our Protoss player. Dark, I'm curious how he does expand himself. You can see our first drone does check for any kind of scouting worker. Pulls back, takes the hatchery on location. Is going to be a hatch gas pool opener. Hero going for a bit of a later scout instead. Now, I'm curious where Dark takes his third. Remember what we saw against Jeshi? If Dark does take the forward third base, that will give him an option to go for an all-in. To take advantage of this gas geyser, to rush into a fast Roach Warren, and to go for an all-in across the map. It is very common on Crimson Court if this third base is taken. So we'll see. Meanwhile, for now, standard openers here from our Zerg player, standard opener from Hero. Going to be a gate expand into Cybercore. Nexus has been thrown down. Dark back at home. Get into his own opener of choice. Now, meanwhile, talking about our players, again, as we saw in the previous series, Dark was very aggressive. He was very aggressive against Jeshi. Did have his own all-ins and his own timings in both Game 1 and Game 2. So right now, it's really the pressure is on Hero to try to scout, try to respond to Dark, but it goes both ways because Hero is also a very dynamic player. He is not afraid to go for a Twilight Council opener, to go into Glaive Adepts, to go into Immortal-based all-ins, to rush into any kind of quirky build. Hero does come up with his own builds, with a lot of his own builds, I should say. I mean, he is an innovator, right? He does dictate the meta more often than not, and a lot of people do follow suit. And there it is, Twilight Council opener. As we mentioned, this is not standard. You know, a standard opener would be a Stargate. This is more aggressive. Now, with a Twilight Council, this could be Glaives. This could also be a Dark Shrine. We'll keep an eye on Hero. See what he does with that. There is this weird sentiment amongst some viewers as well, where they're like, no one goes Twilight Council anymore, right? Like, it just doesn't work. We see it work all the time. Like, especially in the hands of Hero. I think it was last week where Hero did Glaive Adept Rainer to death, for example. I think Classic did the same. We have pulled out of gas. Glaives are on the horizon. So it's going to be Glaive Adepts here from Hero. Likewise, was it Classic versus Solar, where Classic also took down Solar with Glaive Adepts? This was during Kung Fu Cup a couple of days ago. So yeah, these builds are often mixed in when it comes to the top Protoss players out there. I say top Protoss players, I should emphasize the Korean Protosses. Max Pax is less willing to mix it up like this. Max Pax is a lot more by the book when it comes to the top Protosses. There it is, Glaives is on the way. It's going to be 4 gates in total. We have the Robo in production as well, so just 4 gate Glaive Adepts. This is not an all-in. Hero is going to be expanding behind this. It's going to be on Dark to mitigate his losses, to try to retain his drone count, as he's still piecing this together. He has taken the forward base. We should be seeing a Roach Warren in a couple of seconds. We have some safety spores on the way. And there it is, we have the safety Roach Warren as well. So Roach Warren thrown down at around 4 minutes. This is the timing that you do want if you expect a Twilight Council opener. So good timing here with the Roach Warren. Spores are on the way in case it is DT. So we have a Spore at the natural, Spore in the main. No Spore at the third. But again, there's no Dark Templar, thankfully. And here come the Adepts. Remember, we can warp in 4 Adepts at a time. And we'll see if Dark can keep up. Now the Queens are in position. We do force back those Adepts, at least initially. Gonna be shading past them, but Lings are keeping up. Don't commit. So far, so good. Oh, my apologies. I assumed it was 4 gate. It's 5? I missed that 5th gateway here. Hero, that much more committed. I was... okay. As we do end up shading into the main. Decent positioning here from Hero. He will juggle back, but Adepts are going down. And the Queens, they zone away that Warp Prism, but we clean up all the Lings. Yeah, the Lings have fallen. We have 14 Roaches on the way. You see Hero denying mining at that forward base. At the Rich Hosting Gas Geyser. Shading past the army, and we've run out of Lings. And no more Lings. We do have some Roaches, though. Yeah, they spawn in, they morph in the main. Adepts are going down. Can we get to a mineral line? We're trying to... yeah, we're making our way into the main. Drones are finally going down. We shade towards the natural. More workers falling. 4 drones so far, but we're looking for more. Do need more damage. As we shade it towards the third, we do focus down those gas mining drones. Good pickoffs. 8 drones go down. From here, Hero going to try and save these Adepts, and he will save 3 of them. Getting 8 workers in total. Not bad. But here comes a counterattack. Dark, he's amassing his Roaches. He's got Lings on the way. And Dark is getting ready for his counter push. But back at home, Hero did transition into Immortal production. We have 1, 2, soon to be 3 Immortals. But really, Dark, he's waiting for Hero to push into him. Dark, he's not droning. He's just amassing more Lings, more Roaches. Waiting for the army, waiting to swallow up Hero. Hero does push in. He should notice the army. Within range of the Gas Geyser. This is one of the downsides of this base. Gas is transfused, but we do focus it down. Whew. That's a pretty big pickup. Bearing in mind the Dark only has 1 gas mining here in the main. Needs that Gas Geyser. Prism takes a lot of hits. Adepts they threaten to shade across the map. They don't commit. We catch some of the Queens. They try to push in. So far, a good trade from Hero. A good trade so far is expanding, taking a third base behind this. Gas has been retaken. Hero going for some of the Queens. Oh, the Prism! Oh, Prism gets sniped. Big overextension from Hero. We'll lose the War Prism. We commit to the shade. We have Lings waiting for him. And Hero gets cleaned up. Big mistake here from our Protoss. And now we can push. Now we can commit. Dark moving out across the map. We have 4 Immortals. That's a lot of Immortals. But we need force fields. We need those force fields. But we have Ravagers to deal with them. Gonna pull back. Dark pulling back for now. Still no lair, by the way. Dark, he hasn't droned in quite some time. 32 drones, that's all he has. Dark is all in. And can Hero hold? Again, this is why I didn't think it was necessary for Hero to be active like he was before. Yeah, we get us around. We shut down one of the Immortals. One Immortal falls. A shield battery's not ready. Yeah, and Hero, he's up against the wall, bleeding out another Immortal. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. And GG gets called. Hero caught with his pants down, and Dark does take game number 1. GG. Again, Hero, he did some good damage early on. He was able to kill 8 workers. He was able to take down the gas geyser. I thought that was all good, but I do think it was a bit unnecessary for Hero to keep pushing into the bases of Dark when Dark wasn't droning. When Dark was just amassing more Lings, amassing more Roach Ravager. And for Hero to commit to the Shade towards the end there, that was the death of Hero. He got cleaned up, completely shut down, and he had nothing to support his Immortals. Nothing to defend against Dark. GG. GG, well played. Again, I think Hero maybe misjudging Dark a little bit, maybe assuming that he was trying to drone and trying to macro out of it. And with that, Dark does punish Hero. And now we're getting into game 2. We're getting into game number 2. It's going to be on Oceanborn. Let's go. It's taking the hatchery on location. Yes, yes. That's usually... like, because I said it so often, like, for Terran players, right? Because Terrans, it matters for Terran, right? Sometimes they don't take it on location, sometimes they do, because they can float their CCs over. But I said it so much, now I just say it for every race, even when it doesn't make sense. Because it doesn't make sense to say that for Zerg or Protoss, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a reflex at this point. Ay, ay, ay. But here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing CranKy Z Gaming. Down in this series, can he bounce back? It is Hero. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player representing Talon Esports, leading the series 1-0, 1 game away from advancing onto the semifinals. It is Dark. Here we go. Now, we're loading into Oceanborn. Oceanborn is another map that is known for its aggression from the side of Zerg players, so we'll keep an eye on Dark once again on his drone count. Likewise, we'll see if Hero goes for another Twilight Council opener or if he goes for something like a Stargate instead. I glossed over it, but last game, for Hero to commit into 5 gateways is that much more committed. His third base was a little bit more delayed. Despite that, Hero was ahead in the economy. Again, I do think it was just Hero maybe misjudging or misreading, maybe that's a better way, misreading Dark's position. As if Hero had just calmed down a little bit more there, then it would have been Dark on the back foot. But now, we're getting into game 2. Oh, siema, papi, siema. Dzień dobry, papi. Dzień dobry. So we're getting into our openers. Again, this time Dark was forced to take the unnatural natural. Bear that in mind. So the early game defense could be a little bit more uncomfortable for Dark. We'll see. Hero is going to pull back. Cybercore is done. We're going for our tech of choice, and it is going to be a Stargate, not a Twilight Council. Okay. Going to be a Stargate opener here from Hero. And this is looking a little bit more standard to get into a third, but this could be a Void Ray. Could be a Void Ray based opener, could be an Oracle. Could be a Phoenix. Hero, he's so unpredictable just because his playstyle is so varied. Like, he has so many different options that he does indulge in. So we'll see what we go for. Based on the positioning here, it looks like it's going to be an Oracle, as we are going for our Stalker to hunt down the Overlord. The Depth Shade's in, getting an eye on the gases. We do have the high ground as well. We rain down on that mineral line, and up. We don't quite get a drone. We force out a Spore. Depth is going to be forced back. There's that Oracle on the way, designed to hunt down this Overlord. Up, as it is going to fall. Overlord is hunted down. We didn't even need the Oracle. Interesting. This is going to supply look dark a little bit here, so he has to get back into his Overlord production. Droning up. Second Oracle on the way. Hero working towards his third. So this should be leading into a Twilight Council and a Forge. Should be. This Oracle does slip in. Dark going for a fast Evo Chamber. Going for a 4-minute Evo Chamber. Ooh, the Oracle takes a lot of damage. We do get 3 drones, but the Oracle barely does survive. Good damage, sure, but the Oracle doesn't really have too much more sustain here. Has regenerated shields. Second Oracle's moving up. Third Oracle on the way. So do manage to catch one more drone. And with this fast +1 melee, I'm curious where this leads us. It looks like Ling main Hydra again from Dark with fast +2. We'll see. Ooh, as the Oracle does go down. Big pick up. Oracle falls. Adept's going to be harassing across the map. It's going to be 5 Adepts. Did I say 5? 6 Adepts and the 1 Oracle. As the third base is now secure, we are pushing. And here comes the tech. Forge and Twilight Council on time. This should be for +1 and Blink. We'll shade in. Boys are being pulled. And drones are being targeted down. Massive damage here from the Adepts. I say that we do only target down 3 drones. We get a 4th drone towards the end. We shade it to the main. More drones getting targeted as well. Oh, 9, 10 workers fall. Oh my, this is becoming too much. This is not even Glaive Adepts, by the way. The regular Adepts, the Oracles, they come in, they finish off what little is left here. The drones at the natural. 13 workers go down. We clean up the Lings. Oracles, they will escape. And the Adepts will finally be focused down. Oh, but that is 17 workers. 17 drone kills. And remember, this was just designed to harass. It was only 6 Adepts. Hero behind this, we're getting into +1. Blink, as we mentioned. We shade across the map. Deason's around here with the Lings. +1 melee isn't done, and here come the Oracles to clean up the Lings. And to save those Adepts. And it looks like we barely saved one of them. But that was still a good trade for Hero. As Hero is miles ahead. He's on 63 probes against the 47 workers of Dark. Dark just now starting his lair, getting to his gases. And the problem is that because Dark opted not to go for a Roach Warren, his army is so larva intense, but he also has to drone. Just doesn't have the larva for both. 4th base is scouted. And here come 4 gateways. I do like this from Hero, so we're getting up to, I believe, 7 gates in total. And we could just go for an 8th gateway. Hero, I'm sure he smells blood in the water and he's going for the kill. Hero has the option right now to go for a 3-base all-in to try to finish Dark off. I say that he did take his gases at his 3rd. Never mind. Did take his gases, which tells us that he intends to take up a little bit further. And speaking of tech, there it is. The Bay is on the way. 2nd Robo as well. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary, but Hero is just making sure that he's ready for the next stage. 4th base should be on the way as well. Hero is pushing, but he's investing in the late game. Or in the mid to late game. He's investing. Dark behind this, we're rushing into an infestation pit. He's droned back up to 71. Some of these things are caught out. But we do delay the 4th. And there it is. GG gets called. There's not even a fight. The army of Hero just walked onto creep, and Dark, he has nothing to defend. GG, we are going to the ace match. Whew. GG, well played. with that, we do have Game 3 up ahead of us. Let's go. See in the chat. I feel like we stopped seeing 15-15 openers from Zerg. We saw Dark do it today. Dark literally went for a 15-15 today. Earlier against Jeshi. Game 2 versus Jeshi, I believe. Dark did go for 15-15. So, yeah, it's still seen very often. What I will say is that Raynor used to go for 15-15s every game. Every single game. He used to go for it. But post IEM Katowice, Raynor has slowed down. So if you've been watching a lot of Raynor, then I'm sure you would notice that there have been less 15-15s just because he was like one of the most prevalent players doing it. But nowadays it's mixed in. It's mixed in quite a lot, quite a bit, but not all the time. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Dragon KaiZ Gaming. It is Hero. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player forced into the ace match. Which way will this go? We have our South Korean Zerg representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. Let's go. Let us go. Maybe a better way is 15-15s. They aren't as popular as they once were. I can definitely get behind that. As Dark, once again, he's sending out 2 drones. He has 1 drone moving out across the map for a proxy. The other is hiding up here, and we do go for a delayed expansion. Again, this is something unique to Dark. He does like to delay his drone, just waiting for the probe to move out. Then we take it on location. Meanwhile, he gets across the map, and Dark, he's banking up his resources. He does now have enough for a hatchery, and we're going for a proxy hatch. There's a probe in position. Up! Probe is in position. The hatchery will not be thrown down. A Dark forced to throw down a spawning pool and a gas geyser. So the hatchery is denied. And Hero can get into his build. Now this Nexus is delayed. He had to go for a Gate Cyber into a delayed Nexus, but it's a slight delay here for Hero. As the Dark gets the gas deal. Again, if you're familiar with Dark, you would know that he does go for hatch blocks at the natural quite often, and tried to do it here against Hero, but was unsuccessful. Unable to. As we do see our players just settling into their game. They are settling in. And we'll see. We'll see kind of where Dark and Hero do take things. Again, that's why it's always a lot of fun casting both of them, just because they're both so wild and quirky in their own way. Gas does complete. We don't get the cancel. But Hero just expands. He just expands and he takes the second gas here at the natural. This is why gas stealing is considered to be not too good, because as a Protoss player, if your natural is not delayed for too long, you can just take the gas. You just take your second gas at the natural instead, and your build isn't really impacted too heavily here. Meanwhile, Adept does get in. Oh. This would have been different if Dark was able to delay this expansion a little bit longer. We may have seen a couple of boys being pulled or something instead. You have a gateway explosion. It's a Twilight Council opener. Oh my god. We're going what looks to be for Glaives. Interesting. Okay, so this looks like a different variation. It's going to be 4 Yay Glaives here from Hero. But are we going to go for a robo-less version? We'll see if he throws down a robo. There are versions of this where you skip the robo and you go for a faster third instead. Dark meanwhile expanding. Dark going for a safety Roach Warren. That is a 3-minute 40 Roach Warren, by the way. Very early here from Dark. As the gateways are about to finish up. And yeah, there's no robo. Okay. So the way this works is that because we're not making a robotics facility, we have enough money for an expansion. So Hero, he will... this is kind of a quote-unquote macro glaive build. where you take a third base, but you still push out with the depths. Because you have a third, you have a stronger economy behind it. Because there's no Warp Prism, because there's no Robo, it means that this has less bite to it. It means that you can't reinforce on the front lines, you can't micro your units and juggle them with your Prism either. So there's a bit of a give and take. This push is weaker, at the same time though, more economic. Meanwhile, Dark, remember, he went for a very fast Roach Warren. He's amassing Lings, he's amassing Roaches as we speak. He's amassing Roaches. So Dark, he's going for his own push. Ravagers are morphing in as well. Lings, they get on top of the third base. There's nothing to defend. The Adepts, they're not in position. They get across the map, and again, we have Roaches finishing up just in time. The Adepts, they commit. They commit to the shade. The Wilds, do not quite connect. But we managed to get a couple of drones. Lings are being shaved off as well. That's going to be a cancel on the Nexus. And the Adepts, they shade into the main. They do manage to get a good number of drones, though. 10 workers go down. But what about the counterattack? As we're going double Stargate behind this. Oh my god. Void Ray or Phoenix? What do you have? Show us, Pappy. There it is. A double Stargate Phoenix production behind this for Hero. But he has no third. And he's not going to expand anytime soon, as we can see Dark rallying across the map. His goal here, not to break the natural, but to contain, as Hero's overreacting. Dark is droning. Dark, he's just droning up behind this. Meanwhile, Hero, he throws down throws down shield batteries, pylons, getting ready for an all-in. An all-in that's not quite here. Dark shows up, but again, only to contain. Okay, Hero does threaten a move out. Does threaten the dive. A couple more Ravagers have arrived. Oh, they take down the Stalker. Oh, they connect with the Adepts as well. Uh-oh. Hero, we have to be careful here. Here we go. Phoenixes, they have made it. The pylon is going to be saved. Dark is still droning. Phoenixes are revealed. And Hero desperately needs to expand. Like, Hero's in a really rough position. Just because of the late third. The entire point of Hero's build was for a third base, and that's no longer the case. Moves out. Up. Does threaten the bases. We do have 3 queens. Spores in position as well. As we're going for the drones, but they are tucked away. We only get 1. Good defense from Dark. Does bleed out some Lings though. As we commit towards the natural. This I'm not in love with. The Wilds! Oh, they connect. Adepts, they are being cleaned up. Yeah, they're being shut down. Not the best shade from Hero. He's going for the queens, but the Wilds, they've thrown away the Phoenixes. We're still amassing more Phoenixes. Third base now being taken. As it looks like we still don't get the queen. We do. We get 1. Finally, 1 queen goes down. We get the second queen as well. Good pickups. Every single queen will fall. And now we can go for the Ravagers. Speaking of, the Ravagers are getting lifted. We get 1, we get 2. At the same time, Dark is pushing, moving out across the map. He wants to deny this third base. But can he? God, there's so many lifts. The Phoenixes are getting out of hand. The mass Phoenix getting out of control. 13 Phoenixes, and we left up almost every single Roach. But we are running out of energy. Do we have enough? Do we have enough energy? There's 4 Roaches left. Yeah, we do. A handful of Adepts are going to be enough. You can see a Spire on the way. I'm not sure if I like that. GG gets caught. We clean up the Roaches. Dark throwing away his army. He had nothing back at home, and Hero will take the series 2-1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. I didn't believe in the Mass Phoenix transition, Papi. I did not believe, but Hero, he was so persistent, and eventually he shut down every single queen. He was able to have his way with the army, and because Dark counterattacked, he lost everything. And back at home, Dark did not have an amazing drone count. He had just droned up to 58, and he was working towards the Spire, but he didn't have enough queens to defend. The Mass Phoenixes snowballed out of control. GG. GG. Crazy, Bobby. Crazy. And it was in the middle of that game. A big shout to Smile. A big shout to Fuego in the chat. Gah, Bobby. Gah. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the raid. We do appreciate it, Papi. We do appreciate it. And I hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session, I'm assuming. Welcome, everyone. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos todos from Smile's stream. We're here casting ESL Open Cup Asia. Asia. And Dark has been eliminated. And do we have another series? Do we have an opponent? Let's go. Let's quickly double check here. Let's have a look at the brackets. Let us have a look. As we switch our scenes over and quickly refresh, again, Hero advances on to the semifinals. My condolences to Dark, as again, it was a really weird game state. And to be fair, you know, Dark, he was going for the right moves. Remember, Dark, he shut down the initial Glaive Adepts, or yeah, the initial Glaive Adepts. Dark, he denied the third. He contained his opponent. The Mass Phoenix just really caught Dark off guard, and I mean, it caught me off guard as well. Like, how often is that a response to not being able to expand and being shut down to 2 bases, and from Glaive Adepts as well? So yeah, Hero, he just doubled down and did work out in the end. GG, well played. When it comes to the bracket itself, Classic did take down Firefly, but ooh, it went all the way to the ace match, went to game 3, which is what we expected. Shout out to Firefly. Classic, though, advancing onto the quarterfinals, face off against Byun in a TVP. Scrolling up, Gumiho takes down Bunny, but it went all the way to the ace match as well, went to game 3. Gumiho is going to be our first player to make it to the semifinals, as Gumiho did wrap up his series before Hero did, so congratulations to Gumiho. And scrolling up, Nightmare does it again! How does he do it? Is this 2 weeks in a row? It was last week in ESL Open Cup Asia when Nightmare, he 2-0'd Cure, and he 2-0's Cure once again. Again, Nightmare has been on fire recently, and now he's up against Shin. Ooh, this is going to be a close one. This is a spicy series, I'll be honest. Shin 2-0's Oliveira, advances on to the quarterfinals. Shin versus Nightmare, very close. Is going to be quite close, and we'll see who makes it. We'll see who advances on the face-off against Gumiho in those semifinals. So it looks like, I was saying before, if these upper matches are a little bit slower, then maybe we can cast them as well, but it looks like we're kind of lined up here. It looks like we're advancing on hand in hand. And does look like by the time that we wrap up the semis, the upper semis might be wrapping up as well. So most likely we have 2 series left. Lower semis, then the grand finals. Maybe one more in between. We'll see. But yeah, we're going to be focusing here on the lower half of the bracket. We are waiting for Byun versus Classic. Let's quickly double check here. Is anyone casting Byun in Classic? I don't think so. In that last game, we had, I think we had Wardy, and I think we had Inu. Did we have Coca? Let me double check. Coca, of course, is our French caster. Yeah, we had Coca as well, so I don't think anyone is covering Byun versus Classic at the moment, so we're kind of lying in wait. We're lying in wait for that series to open up, and then we will either jump in mid-series to Byun versus Classic, or it's going to be done, and then we can cast the winner versus Hero. So we can set that up. Byun versus Classic, Hero versus TBD. Okay. Speaking of, yeah, Byun versus, yeah, they're still in game. Oh no, never mind, they're done. Okay, Byun versus Classic did complete. I'm uncertain of the score. But it looks like Byun won. Okay. It looks like Byun took down Classic. I'm uncertain as to the specifics, and hopefully we do get it. Hopefully we do get that scoreline. But yeah, vetoes are underway. Vetoes are currently underway. And we have our first semifinals match. Let's go. Okay, where's our admin? Beautiful. Bjorn 2-0 Classic. We have our results. Bjorn did take down Classic 2-0. And with that, Bjorn is up against Hero. Meanwhile, Nightmare just 2-0'd Shin. I'm telling you, Nightmare has been cracked recently. He has been taking down some bigger and bigger and bigger names. We saw Nightmare take down Rainer last week as well. And Nightmare, he just took down Shin and Cure. Nightmare advances on to the upper semifinals to face off against Gumiho. Oh boy. So both semifinals are about to begin. They are about to begin. And we have our series. Just catching up. Catching up in the chat. Just the coincidence I have been seeing 15-15. All good, all good. All good, happy. All good. And to be fair, Dark didn't go for 50-15s in that series against Hero. Did not go for that opener, but here we go. Vetoes are done. We have our lobby. Side Delta is coming up first. And because it's semifinals, you know what that means? That means predictions, papi. Predictions are soon to be open in the chat. You can place your bets on who you believe is going to advance onto the grand finals first. Will it be our Terran or our Protoss? Is it going to be Hero or Bjorn? It is up to you to decide. It is going to be up to you. Hero versus Bjorn. Okay. So if you're in the chat, predictions are open for a couple of minutes, so you have some time here to place your bets. You have some time to yourselves. Best of luck. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Side Delta, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Ooh, just took down Classic 2-0, by the way. It is Bjorn. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the best Protoss player in all of Korea, arguably the best Protoss in the world, representing Dragon KZ Gaming, DKZ. It is Hero. Hero, he's taking down a Protoss in Creator, he's taking down a Zerg in Dark, and now he's up against a Terran. Can he go for the trifecta? Can he bring them all down, or will he meet his end? Just brought up that Bjorn did take down Classic 2-0, but Bjorn clearly is warmed up in this matchup. And we'll see. We'll see if he can take it to Hero. We'll see if he can bring him down. Am I misremembering? I'm pretty sure Hero and Bjorn, did they face off in Kung Fu Cup? I want to say they played recently. I'm just double checking here, as it is going to be an economic opener from Bjorn, going for a Rax Expand. And yes, it was ESL Open Cup Americas. That's it, last week. So last week, Hero and Bjorn faced off. It was just under 7 days ago in ESL Open Cup Americas, and Hero did 2-0 Bjorn. That did occur. Actually, in recent times, we've been seeing, in general, they've had a back and forth. It's actually 50-50 in 2024. Wow. Exactly right down the middle, 50-50 scoreline between the two of them. So best of luck with your predictions. This could go either way. I was just checking, in most recent scores, it does feel like Hero has had a slight edge over Bjorn, but I'm just talking like the most recent, maybe month of StarCraft. If we expand it, then, you know, it's more back and forth. Here we go again. It is going to be the Rax Expand. It's going to be the CC on the high ground here for Bjorn. Going for a bit of a safer economic build. Getting into his factory thereafter. Hero himself getting into his Gate Cyber Expand. Standard openers all around. We have our take of choice. It's going to be a Twilight Council for Hero. It's going to be Blink. I'm making an assumption here. We have seen Hero go for a Dark Shrine opener in the past. in this matchup, but it's more of a rarity. Should be Blink here from our Protoss player. First Adept is moving out. Behind this, Byun getting into a 1-1-1. Ooh, and with this tech lab, I'm curious, are we going for a fast tank? No, we're going for an add-on swap instead. Okay, interesting. Adept has arrived. Adept doesn't see much, does get eyes on the CC. So here, he's aware of the economic opener. Meanwhile, it is going to be an add-on swap. Starport on the tech lab. We have another tech lab on the way. Is this for Banshee production? From Byun, we have seen Byun quite fond of, he's been quite fond of a Banshee tank all-in off of 2 bases. This doesn't have to be the all-in variation, but again, just really fast Banshee production, really fast tank production as well. So Byun is getting ready for it. We've seen this build kind of permeate its way through the Terrans over the past, I want to say 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, I've seen this build quite often. As behind this, Hero is getting into his own gateways. It's going to be a 2-gate opener for the time being, 2-gate blink. Oh, sorry, 3-gate blink. Okay, so Hero's going to be a little bit more aggressive here with his 3 gateways. He will have additional stalkers available as Byun is pushing. He's moving out with his first Banshee. Now, Cloak Banshees in this matchup can do a surprising amount of damage. It doesn't take long at all to kill a probe, and if we do not have an observer back at home, then we can be in some trouble. And Hero hasn't seen too much. Checks the natural. Observer does stick around here in the natural base of Hero. He hasn't seen the builds, but again, this is not the first time we've seen Byun go for Banshees like this. So Hero, really good read, does confirm the Banshee. And Hero should shut this down. A good blink. And the first Banshee goes down. Big pick-off. Massive pick-off here for Hero. And Byun, he's in a bit of trouble. Does move out with the second Banshee towards the main. Hero setting up for his expand. Yeah, taking up into a Forge, into a Robotics Bay, towards Colossus production. So Hero, he's defending. Hero is taking a more defensive stance, just taking up and settling down into 3 bases. Meanwhile, Byun, on the other side, is building up that tank count quite quickly. But there's a 3rd CC on the way. Oh, that's actually quite a fast 3rd base from Byun. So he's not going for a 2-base all-in variation. He is expanding. So we're both headed towards the mid-game. Let's go. Let us go. Byun, he does arrive. He does check. He does confirm the 3rd base timing. Rotates around. Observer is chasing him down. The Bay is done, and we should be getting into Colossus production momentarily. There it is. The first Colossus is on the way. So far, Hero looking solid back at home. And this initial opener from Byun has fallen on its face. Like, to rush into the starport, to rush into these Banshees, they need to get some damage done. If they don't, I mean, we're just delaying medevacs, we're delaying Ravens. I mean, we're skipping Ravens entirely. Hero, he does confirm the Rax is on the way. Confirms all the production. Dips in, he gets eyes on the 3rd CC. Big scout. So Hero knows that there's no all-in. Byun is going to be moving out with his army. And we do have Adepts in position here for Hero. He does spot the move out. Hero staying on the edge here. Doesn't want to lose that observer. Does put the long distance mining. Colossus getting in position.
Research complete.
Hero not fully aware of where the tanks are, which is why you can see Hero being a little bit proactive. As the army is revealed, 3rd base is being taken. With that, Hero is getting his 4th. Building up towards additional Colossi. He's on 2, soon to be 3. And yeah, we're just kind of settling down into this. And in general, as we settle into the mid-game, I want to give the edge to Hero. Again, because of the failed Banshee harass, like, Hero's in a really good place. And Byun has been stuck at home. Now, with our additional wave of medevacs that are coming out for Byun, we should soon be pushing. We should soon be either going for a drop play or moving out. Upgrades are done. 1-1 just finished. See Beyond trying to catch that Adept. As Hero has vision everywhere, he's going to Observer here towards the southern main attack path. Probe towards the north. Units in the center. Pylon towards the north as well. And he is over the third. And he does spot the Ghost Academy. +1 air attack? Second Stargate? Or first Stargate on the way? Let's go! We're getting some +1 air. We have 2 Stargates in production. We are ready for a Skytoss transition already. Very fast, very greedy here by Hero. Observer is going to be shut down. But, I mean, Hero, he is getting up to 4 base saturation, so it makes sense. I mean, he could have made a choice here to go into a third Robo and go into triple Disruptor production. But, yeah, with these Stargates finishing up, I believe we should be throwing down the Fleet Beacon and working towards even Skytoss. We'll see. As the army does push forward, forcing Beyond back. Stargates are done. Yep, there's the Fleet Beacon, there's the third Stargate, so this is going to be for either Carrier or Tempest. I mean, they both have their place. So again, Hero being very greedy, he has to be careful. He has to be very careful with this army. I don't think he intends to fight, he intends to posture. Again, the tanks are in position. We rotate over towards the fourth. It looks like we can take down the sensor tower. So pick up there by Hero. Banshee gets deflected by the Stalkers. And Hero pulls back. Again, Hero, he has no intention to try to break the third or break the fourth. He's just kind of puffing up his chest, trying to force Beyond back while he transitions. Beyond is pushing though. There it is. 3 carriers at a time. Let's go. Carrier production has commenced. Again, usually you don't need Tempest unless we're getting to Liberators already, but Beyond, he's not at that point where we can invest into Libs. So I do like the choice of carriers. Zelts on the right-hand side, they catch a depot. Again, because of that posturing, Beyond has been stuck at home. He's been contained. We are taking a fourth. But Hero is on the way. Once again, Hero just poking out, getting a 5th Nexus. My god. Getting his 5th base. Mothership's on the way. +3, +2 air attack. Yeah, the carriers are amassing. And again, Beyond has been, unfortunately here, a little bit too passive. I mean, obviously the opener was rough for Beyond, and the Colossus movement has been really good from Hero, but because of that, there's been no drop play. There's been no drop play here from Beyond. Finally, he splits off an army, and finally he's being active to deal with some of these pylons and some of the vision. But like Hero, look how comfortable he is. He has a ring of pylons, or like a line of pylons towards the north, his main army towards the south. Like there's no kind of move out that isn't spotted by Hero. Finally, Beyond moves out. Runs into a pylon. You can see Hero splitting up his forces, getting ready for a drop here towards his northern base. Beyond, he knows he just got scattered, so he's being very tentative. Beyond is backing off, repositioning. He knows that Hero is good enough to be in position for the drop. As Beyond does make his way across the map. How many carriers do we have? 6. Ooh, 6 carriers. And the mothership. We go for the scan. And we get eyes on the mothership. Slow zone is thrown down. Beyond has to back off. Takes down the disruptor. Not bad. Couple workers go down as well. Couple of probes do fall as they were transferring. Good EMP. Oh, we EMP everything, by the way. We dive on top of the army. We focus down the mothership. We focus down the carriers as well. But do we have enough anti-air? We had 6. We're down to 4 carriers. And nothing shoots up. We have 2 Vikings and only Marauders. Not enough Marines, not enough anti-air. Hero takes the fight. Now this did cost Hero every single Disruptor and every single Colossus as well. This was an expensive trade for Hero, as Hero doesn't quite have enough. He's going to try to push though. How many carriers? 5. Sorry, 6. 6 carriers here for Hero. How many Marines do we have? 8. Oh. 8 Marines, 4 Vikings, and 1 Ghost. We need time. Bjorn needs time, and Hero's already pushing in. Do we have any turrets? We have 1 turret in the mineral line, and here come the carriers. Carriers, they have arrived. They're pushing in towards the bases. Bjarni's cut off from the rest of his army. Cut off from his reinforcements, I should say. We dive on the Vikings. Vikings are going down. Turrets are going down. Only Marauders on the ground. They don't shoot up. GG gets called, and Hero takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Let's go. GG. Hero rushing into carriers, and Bjorn did not see the carriers coming. He did not know they were there until they revealed themselves for that fight. Even the scan did not reveal the carriers. Remember, the scan only saw the mothership. The carriers were just out of vision. Then they were revealed, and as we saw, Bjorn did not have enough anti-air. He was not ready for carriers. He had a lot of Marauders, and the Marauders, they did nothing. They don't shoot up, unfortunately. You know, their arms, they aren't built that way. They can't aim up. And the mass carrier overwhelms Bjorn. GG. Game 1 is in the books. Hero does take a lead, and now the pressure is on Bjorn to bounce back. Ooh, an interesting map. We're loading in to Dynasty. Let's go. Here we go. Game number 2. Bjorn needs to win this game here and now, to force the ace match. Otherwise, Hero will be the first player to advance onto the grand finals. Can he be stopped? Can he be stopped? There's spawning in the top right-hand corner of Dynasty. We have our South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. The pressure is on. He needs to win this game here and now to force game 3. He needs your support in the chat. It is Bjorn. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming, DKZ. It is Hero. 1 more game is all he needs. Hello, Monsieur SCV. Where are we going? I was like, this worker's a little bit suspicious, and we see why. We are going for a proxy racks out in the center of the map. Interesting location. No racks back at home. Bjorn looking to spice things up a little bit here at the beginning of game number 2. Now, what's important? No second ACV. Only 1 worker across the map, so this is not the most committed of builds. This looks like just proxy Reaper into a standard game. Question mark? Does seem to be the case here. Hero going out for his own scout. Okay, so with this probe scout, Hero will confirm that the Rax is missing, and he should be checking these fringe locations here towards the south, maybe towards the north. But the Rax is dead set in the middle of the map. Oh, never mind. Oh no! Hero going for, he doesn't even scout! Hero going for his own proxy. Things are about to get crazy. There's no production back at home. I mean, the Reaper is going to be the first to hit. We're going to move out. We're going to hit that natural base. Hero doesn't know. So probes are going to fall. We can see Bjorn is checking the gold. He's checking that gold base. Reaper on the way. Rallied to the mineral line. But show us the proxy gateways. Proxy Stargate? Yep, proxy Stargate. Void Rays. Okay. I love this build choice here by Bjorn, sorry, by Hero, but Bjorn is gonna pop off with this Reaper. How many probes can we get? So far, good control at Hero. He does pull back, does save his worker. Ooh, but the second probe is gonna fall. The first and the second probe go down. We gotta surround! We surround the Reaper. Bjorn does overextend, and here come the eventual Void Rays. Okay, a couple of things about this build. Ooh, we're going for a tech lab. Bjorn doesn't know. Bjorn doesn't know we're going for a tech lab. We're going for a CC behind this as well. Nothing shoots up. We were here in game 1, but nothing shoots up with a tech lab on this factory that we're probably going to be making a tank, not a cyclone. Without a cyclone, how do we defend? Yeah, tank is on the way. Rax is floating back as well. Reaper does slip in, but we have an Adept in position, and we do scout the Void Ray. Big scout. We cancel the tank immediately. We have a Cyclone on the way. Now, the reason why this build is back and why we have seen this build ever since the new patch is because of the Cyclone. In this latest patch that did hit the game a couple of months ago, the Cyclone has been nerfed. Cyclone has been nerfed. This build has now become a lot more viable than it once was. And here we go. The Void Ray came to the production. We're diving on top of that Cyclone. Boys, they have to be pulled. Cyclone does pop. Oh, Cyclone does pop. We get a full surround of the Cyclone as well. Is it enough? It is not. The Cyclone falls, and that may just be it. That may just be game. GG gets called, and Hero takes the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. He's an animal, Papi. GG, well played. Blind proxy, by the way. To be fair, like, again, Hero had no idea what he was up against. Neither did Bjorn. But again, the Cyclone, with its change, as a reminder, it's changed to its lock-on. The lock-on, even before that, with the change to the range as well of the Cyclone, we have seen this build pop up a little bit more ever since the start of the year. And, yeah, not the first time we've seen Hero whip out the proxy Void Ray, and just like that, Hero snowballs out of control. GG, well played. It was unfortunate that Bjorn was also rushing into a tank initially, which delayed the Cyclone production, and when it came out, the Void Ray was waiting for it. We were waiting for the Cyclone. GG. Congratulations to Hero. He advances on to the grand finals. And who is up next? Oh boy, do we have an opponent? Do we have the upper semifinals concluding? Let's go and find out. My condolences to Bjorn. Bjorn, he's an amazing player. Don't get me wrong. He's an amazing player. But Bjorn was also playing very scared in game one. Winding it back a little bit, we didn't really get to talk too much about game one. But we mentioned that, like, sure, the opener was rough, so Bjorn was stuck at home, and Hero was doing a really good job just, like, kind of posturing and, like, faking a push. But Bjorn was playing so scared after the openers, and because of that, Bjorn, he didn't go for any drop play or any kind of harass. And because of that, it wasn't just that he wasn't able to punish the economy of Hero or the tech of Hero, but he wasn't able to scout. He wasn't able to scout what was going on. He was blind to what Hero was doing, and he was punished for it. Here, game 2 was a little bit more chaotic. It was just unfortunate that it was a proxy versus proxy, and Bjorn, his first Reaper, got shut down, so he wasn't able to snowball out of control with his Reaper harass, and GG. GG, well played. Let's go. We're getting into we're ready for our finals. We're getting ready for our grand finals. Let's scroll up. Let us scroll up. It is Nightmare versus Gumiho in the upper semis, and they are mid-series. They are currently mid-series, uncertain as to what is going on, as to whether they're in game 1, game 2, or game 3. Again, we mentioned it, but Nightmare did 2-0 Shin, Gumiho 2-1 Gumiho, and they are either game 1, game 2, or game 3. We will soon find out. So I guess we have some downtime. We have some downtime here. We're still waiting for Nightmare and Gumiho. We might jump in mid-series if they have like an ace match or something. We might be able to jump in mid-series. Otherwise, the finals is coming up next. Once we have our contender, once we have our challenger. Ooh. Again, Hero just working through one of each. He took down Creator, took down Dark, now took down Bjorn as well. Gumiho versus Nightmare. Bam. And it's Hero versus TBD. Either a PvP finals or a PvT. Yet to be determined. Okay. But yeah, so we do have a little bit of downtime here, so we're going to be going on a short break. Take this moment, get some water, get some snacks, you know, drain your disruptors, hydrate your hydras, tuck in your tempest, get yourself ready. And when we return from this break, we will have our next series. We'll get there. We'll get there. Dirty. Yeah, it's so dirty. Just catching up in the chat. so fast. That was a fast series. I see Rogel in the YouTube chat. That was a fast series, and it's a little bit unfortunate. I would have loved to have like sunk my teeth into Byun and Hero like a little bit more. Would have loved to have seen a back and forth and an ace match, but alas, that's not what we're getting, unfortunately. But yeah, we're gonna be going in a short break, so take this moment, get some snacks, get some water. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hopefully the break isn't too long. We're just gonna wait for Nightmare and Gumiho to wrap up. We'll see you guys soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the upper semifinals. Welcome back to ESL Open Cup Asia 226. We just wrapped up the lower semis, and Hero is waiting in the grand finals for the winner of this very series. I just gave an update in the chat. We are jumping in mid-series, and we're tied up 1-1. We are tied up 1-1 here in the semifinals. Who will advance on to face off against Hero? We are here to find out. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Cloud9. It is Gumiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing himself, currently teamless, but deserving to be on a team. He 2-0'd Cure already, he 2-0'd Shin, but now is in the ace match. It is Nightmare. Let's go. Let us go as Gumiho is going for a double gas opener. Okay, already mixing it up. Double gas opener is going to lead into a faster factory. It's going to lead into a delayed CC from the likes of Gumiho. So a much more aggressive build from our blue Terran player. Meanwhile, Nightmare just going for his gate cyber expand, opting not to go for any kind of Reaper wall-off, as yeah, there are just multiple entrances into the main base here towards the right and the left-hand side. So opting to wall off his mineral line instead. Now, when it comes to Game 1 and Game 2, we don't know what transpired. I mean, Gumiho is a very aggressive player. He's very unorthodox. He comes up with his own builds, so we may have even seen mech. There may have even been mech in this series already, so I don't blame Nightmare for going for that Zealot first. It's going to be a Zealot first from Nightmare. Pylon already thrown down, and Nightmare is moving out. Okay. He is moving out with that first Zealot, settling into his game. Again, we're in the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends on Crimson Court. We will have predictions open for the finals. I had very little time to prepare for the semis. We just kind of jumped in very quickly. So Reaper going to be dancing with that Zealot. Zealot trying to make use of the tall grass. Gets a couple of swipes in. Oh! Gets in a couple of swipes, but Nightmare unable to catch it. Yeah, Gumiho getting the better of that Zealot. There's a lot of hits in, but at least we keep the Reaper busy. And Reaper backs off. And here comes the Adept. Here comes the Adept to back up the Zealot. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener from Nightmare. Should be Blink. Should be Blink behind this. We'll see how many gateways get thrown down. Could be one gate, sorry, could be 2 gate, 3 gate, or 4 gate Blink. As the Adept does shade away. And Gumiho is not going for a 1 base all in. It's going to be a Rax into factory into a CC on the low ground. On location. Getting into that command center. Starport on the way. Are we going for an add-on swap? Are we going for some more Banshee play? Again, Banshees have been quite popular in TVP as of late. But no, we're rushing into a tank. Oh, very fast tank production here out of Gumiho. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, my eyes are definitely on Gumiho here. This could be a medevac opener. I'm curious if we're going for a tank drop. Speaking of, Reapers, they dip into the main. Oh, we do barely escape. And yep, medevac is on the way, so we're going for a tank drop. This is a very aggressive build here from Gumiho. We're moving out initially with our tank, with our medevac, with Marines, with everything we have. To apply some pressure early on. We'll see if Nightmare gets caught out or if he's ready for this. Now, Blink is in production. We have 2 gateways initially. So it looks like, yeah, we're getting ready here on the right-hand side. It looks like 2 gate Blink into a 3rd. Looks to be the case, which means translates to economic builds here from Nightmare. Not too aggressive. Here comes the tank. Here comes the medevac. Oh, this is a brutal position as well on the other side of this mineral wall. Yeah, we're heading on over. We do catch an Adept as well. So far, no scout on the tank. Stalkers are dragged out of position. And the tank makes its way towards that natural base. Yeah, the pylon is going to go down. We catch a pylon. Nightmare going for a 3rd gateway. Let's go. Alongside the 3rd. Good pick up by Gumiho. Supply blocking Nightmare as well. Here's a brutal supply block. Blink is done. You can see Nightmare moving out across the map. Back at home, we have a tank in position. Remember, early game tank production. So plenty of tanks to work with. As the tank does double back. We're going back into the natural. Where's the army? Uh-oh. We're across the map instead. Observers on the way. With high ground vision, we can dive into the main. We can maybe even pick off Stim. Stim is looking a little bit exposed. The drop doesn't commit. Here comes the Observer. The Observer does get eyes on the tank. Does get eyes on the Raven. Yeah, the Observer is spotted. Gumiho keeping up. Making sure the Nightmare does not get into the main base. 2nd tank has arrived. Stim is now protected. Nightmare checking the 3rd base. Again, there's a lot of posturing going on right now. We can actually blink into the natural. And there's no tank. There's no tank on the low ground. We go for the eBay. And we force a cancel. Big pickup. eBay gets cancelled. We get 2, 3, oh, almost 4 CVs. Full workers just barely. At the same time, Gumiho dropping across the map. Drops across the map, gets 3 probes. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You're referring to the Reaper Zealot dance in the middle of the map with the tall grass? Yo, that was beautiful. Let's go. As we're trying to intercept Gumiho's drop, we did get 6 workers. The drop will escape. Oh, Nightmare barely does miss it. As Gumiho, he threads the needle. Barely gets out. Here comes the rest of the army. And again, because of the early tank production, we don't pull the boys, but we have how many? 4. We have 5 tanks. 5 tanks already with the 7-minute push. That is insane. With the Raven. And Stim. Behind this, there is no third CC, bear that in mind. So this is quite committed. Medevacs are getting caught out. We get 1. We get 2. Yeah, both Medevacs will fall. But at the same time, Gumiho, he just walks in between the bases. Rolls on up. Shuts down the shield battery cells. They come in from behind. Oh, the Autotomos, they were premature. We get 1 tank. There's still 3 tanks left. And 2 tanks went down, but there's still 3 tanks remaining. We depower the Robo. Stalkers are coming in. Storm is done. Yeah, we storm the tanks. We barely will clean them up. Just barely. That was a lot of tanks falling, but we get 9 probes at the natural. We kill the Robo as well. As the army, yeah, is now going to be going down to the Archon, to the Stalkers. Ooh, Nightmare holds. But it did cost him a lot. It cost him 11 workers. At the same time, again, looking at the units, also 5 tanks fell. That was 5 tanks going down. That was a lot. Gumiho getting his 3rd base on location. Being a little bit greedy. He's down to 1 tank, by the way. He once had 5. Now he's down to 1. It is going to be here on the high ground. Nightmare does have eyes on it. Is aware. This 3rd base is going to be denied. Can we force a cancel? We do kill the SCV. Blink into the main and going for concussive. Going for the tank even. What do you go for? What do we go for? Tank does hold. We try to blink out of here, but there are Marauders in position, and we shut down the Stalkers. Big catch from Gumiho. Very nicely done, Zelts. Yeah, they're a little bit too late to join the fight. And the 3rd base will finish. Behind this Nightmare, where are we headed? What is our plan? We have Storm, we have the Gateway Explosion finishing up. Auto turret harass here in that mineral line. All in all, Gumiho, he is recovering. And Nightmare did lose quite a bit in that assault earlier. Can he still punish Gumiho? Can he still break this 3rd base? Again, there's 1 tank on the high ground. We have a couple of Widow Mines. Widow Mine production has commenced. Army's moving out. Okay, there are 4 High Templar. 4 High Templar in the War Prison. That is at least 4 Storms. We're going for a Doom Drop at the wrong moment. We go for the scan. And again, there's not much at home to defend. Gumiho, he does not turn around. He commits. At the same time, Nightmare also doesn't push in. He's turning back around. Nightmare is racing back home. He gets eyes on the Raven. And 4th base is cancelled. This was a bold move here by Gumiho, but it pays off. As Nightmare retreats and the base is denied. Behind this, Nightmare just settling into his 4th. 4th CC, much faster than the 4th base of Nightmare. Okay, Gumiho settling into his 4th, what I meant to say. The game is calming down. We're calming things down, Pat. Again, remember the Robotics Bay was delayed because we had to rebuild the Robo. But now we're working towards Colossus, working towards Disruptors. I've got the Prism! No! The High Templar! Here we dive on as we force out some Storms, and all 4 High Templar are going to be going down. Worth it here for Gumiho. Actually, 1 High Templar does escape. Barely. One does make it out. Whew. Quick moves there by Nightmare. But that was still brutal. Bleeding out 3 High Templar. Remember, we're not into Colossus yet, but how many High Templar do we have? 9. Jesus. 9 High Templar scattered between the bases. We go Mind Drop towards the left, main army through the center. Gimme here does have that supply lead. Show us the storms. We snipe at least 1 High Templar. 1 High Templar goes down, we force out a feedback. With a Mind Drop here towards the left hand side. Mind shots, they are going to go off. And we do get 4 workers, and we drop into the main. Drop into the main base as well. Good reaction here to Nightmare. He does split up his army, or split up his workers. There's still 1 Widowmine in that drop. And Gumiho didn't push in. I mean, he saw how many Zealots there were. He saw how many High Templar there were. Bearing in mind that Gumiho does not have Ghost. He does have a Ghost Academy, but no Ghost production yet. Gumiho has to be careful.
Mineral field
ready for a Doom Drop. Widowmine is coming in. An army towards the left-hand side. The scanner reveals a High Templar. Gumiho, he does see. He knows. How do we approach this? Yeah, we have a group of Marines. We chase down the High Templar. The storms are forced out. And we break through. The base is going to fall. He scans. He sees the army. Doesn't commit with his drop. But that is a kill on the Nexus. Gumiho is going to stutter step the hell out of here. Does evacuate. And Gumiho is maxed out. Nightmare falling behind in supply here. Losing a base. Again, I love the Gumiho. He scanned first before committing, which meant that he didn't throw away his army. Did check ahead of time. Pulling back, now getting into Ghost production. But finally gets shut down. Well, for the most part, Gumiho is in a good position. I mean, he's got a solid economy. We have a Fusion Core on the way that's going to be for Liberator range. Speaking of, more Starports are being thrown down as well. +1 ship weapons, all to support Liberator production. And against a Groundless army, Liberators, they are ideal. They can just bully Nightmare back. Nightmare is knocking down those rocks. Pushing towards the left-hand side. Oh, big storm here on the Marauders. Not bad, the flanking storms. Again, we're looking for those EMPs from Gumiho. He's trying to go for a split push. Nightmare's in position. Gumiho doesn't break in, but there it is, Liberator range in production, +2 ship weapons. No Liberators yet from our Terran player, but we're getting there. Meanwhile, as we're working towards Libs, Skytoss. Stargate is on the way. This is the beginning of Skytoss from Nightmare, but it does feel like he's a little bit too late. Again, his 4th base, it took so long to get up and running. Without a 4th, we didn't really have the economy to sustain something like carriers. So everything was delayed for Nightmare. So he tries to poke out. Has to be careful. Gumiho, he has map control. He's taking his half on the map. Getting his 5th. While Nightmare's stuck with 4 bases. That's the EMPs. Oh! To get them on the Zealots and the Stalkers, but there's still 2 High Templar in that prison. First storm is wasted, or it gets spent. Does get baited out. But there's still more storms available. Gumiho, he can't break this position yet, but there they are. Liberator production finally is underway. And with Libs, then Gumiho can be that much more proactive. Oh, tries to dive in. He can initiate engagements now with a little bit more of a backbone to his army. Good fighting against Zealots. Oh, every single Zealot going to be going down. That's a rough chase from Nightmare. Even bleeding out a Stalker. Stargate is done. I believe there's still no Fleet Beacon. Nightmare taking the center base. And how does Gumiho push in? Working towards the center. Nightmare does have storms. Here come the libs. Freedom has arrived. We have some liberation. Tarts being thrown down behind this. Nightmare trying to set up us around. Ooh, big storm on a portion of that army. That was 2 storms. We have another. At the same time, we push on the right-hand side. We don't quite break in. Liberators are reinforcing. Do bleed out a couple of SCVs. Once again, storm from behind. Oh, but the turrets. Yeah, they do force the unload. Yeah, High Templar going to be going down. Now we only have to worry about storms from one side. Speaking of, yeah, the storms on the Liberators. Nightmare collapsing on this army, trying to get the surround off, but the Colossus, no! The Colossus did overextend. One goes down, we spend most of our storms, and we're pushing in. We are going to be pushing in here. Give me here, he did bleed out some SCVs throughout the course of that. Checking our armies, we're down to 5 High Templar. 2 of them in the War Prism. Big storms here once again. Yeah, Gumiho late to react. He still has a lot to work with. And the Liberators, they do reinforce once again, pushing back the army. Yeah, they're going to be able to deny mining here towards the center. Again, because this army's so marauder heavy, we can tank some storms that we get. We just don't even care. We just take the storms to the face. We stim on forward. Forcing out another storm. And finally, Gumiho is gaining ground. Finally, he's pushing in. And Nightmare, he's having a hard time stopping him. He lost so many Zealots earlier, and now there's none. How many Zealots do we have left? 0. 1 Zealot. 1 Zealot for Nightmare. The base is falling. Nightmare doesn't have much of a bank to work with, and this is the beginning of the end here for our Protoss player. It was a good effort. But Gumiho, he had the better economy throughout almost the entire game. He was able to establish his 3rd, his 4th, his 5th. Now he's on 7 bases. And Nightmare is struggling. Oh, just dragging the army into those freedom zones. And again, behind this, Gumiho is just able to stay maxed perpetually. Stay maxed out. A massive EMP on the Archons. Yeah, we just stim on forward. We shut down the army. Focus out the Stalkers as well. And Nightmare is going to lose everything here. The Nexus, the workers, the army. He's trying to chase us down, but he's 1 step behind. And GG gets called as Gumiho works his way towards the 4th, and Gumiho takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Gumiho as he does take the series 2-1, advancing on to those finals. My condolences to Nightmare, but again, Nightmare did very well for himself. Nightmare 2-0'd Cure, he 2-0'd Shin. He did not have an easy road to the semis, but he does meet his end here at the hands of Gumiho. Congratulations. Congratulations to Gumiho. Again, his split pushes in the mid game were insane. He was doing such a great job at getting damage done, pulling Nightmare apart, denying the 4th initially, and containing, and yeah, with that, just had the superior economy. With that, had the better tech as well. Was able to get into those Liberators. Nightmare did feel like he was 1 step behind for a lot of that game. Especially in the second half, I should say. And with that, we're getting into our grand finals. We're getting into our grand finals here. Here we go. It is going to be a best of 5 TVP between Hero and Gumiho. Vámonos, vámonos. Oh. Hero and Gumiho. And if you're in the chat, predictions will soon be open. You can place your bets on who you believe is going to be this week's champion. Will it be our Protoss or our Terran? Will it be Hero or Gumiho? Up to you to decide. It's going to be up to you. Again, we're just going to be waiting for the videos to wrap up, and then we'll have those predictions. Glaives is interesting. Yeah, I saw the Glaives earlier. I saw the Glaives being researched. God, that was back when Nightmare was defending against the drop play when he was on 3 bases, if I remember correctly. I do remember seeing the Glaives, but as is being said in the chat, we never really made use of it. Glaive Adepts in TVP are usually for all-ins. Usually they're a way to like dive on an army and just commit. So yeah, I'm not too certain if Nightmare maybe was trying to make use of them earlier on, or if it was a bit of a misclick, but yeah, he never really invested into any Adepts, into much Glaive play. I feel like Protoss have been experimental. They started using Storm versus Zerg and Glaives a lot of the time. I feel like Glaive Adepts and Storm has been around for a couple of years now. I mean, they've been kind of like rises and falls in popularity when it comes to Storm and Glaives. I always appreciate whenever we see Storm in PvZ, just because we don't see it too often anymore. I mean, I say that when we were casting Kung Fu Cup, it's all we saw, to be fair. it's all we saw against Lingbane Hydra, but that was Kung Fu Cup. I remember there was the one game with Creator where he played Double Rover Colossus, which was refreshing. Usually it's the opposite. So I guess Raynor overslept. Raynor FF. So Raynor, he did sign up, he did check in earlier, but he did tap out. I'm not too sure why, I don't know the reason, but Raynor did forfeit earlier. I don't know if like something came up, or maybe he just wasn't feeling it. Maybe he was tired. I do know that Raynor, he had like a 24-hour stream, like, or was it a 12-hour stream a couple of days ago. And he has been staying up for EPT Spring over the weekend. So maybe just tired, maybe just tired. From an intense weekend of StarCraft. With WTL, with EPT Spring, the regionals. Would not be surprised. But here we go, the vetoes are done. Okay, when it comes to the map order, we have Site Delta, followed by Oceanborn, Alkyone, Ghost River, and Crimson Court. We have our 5 maps, we have our 5 would-be games, and we're just waiting for our players to ready up. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are open. You can place your bets on who you believe is going to be this week's champion. Will it be Hero or Gumiho? Will it be one or the other? This is going to be a different dynamic compared to what we saw between Hero and Beyond, just because Gumiho is a lot more wild and a lot more decisive as well with how crazy he is. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for it. We've seen it before. I'm sure we can see it again. Best of luck to everyone predicting in the chat. Best of luck. Predictions. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing CranKy Z Gaming, the best Protoss in Korea, in the world. It is Hero. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing his team Cloud9. It is Gumiho. Here we go. He's playing Fallout, he's streaming. Oh, never mind. Alright, thanks for the update. Thanks for the update. Apparently, Raynor is streaming. Maybe a little bit exhausted, maybe wanting to take a break from StarCraft. For those that were maybe watching, because I'm pretty sure Reina was streaming as the tournament was starting, so maybe he had better rationale there, but yeah, maybe just taking a day off. All good, all good. I remember Vindicta's decompress game was Witcher. Play The Witcher 3 to like decompress and take a break from StarCraft. So maybe Fallout is Reina's go-to. I feel like I missed the boat on Fallout. Like, I played New Vegas back in the day, but Fallout, it's such a big investment. Like, it's obviously it's one of the big, you know, open world Bethesda RPGs, and it takes quite a lot of time to like commit to and stuff like that. And like, I don't have the time anymore. But I'd love to play, you know, and wrap up the Fallout games. Like, I haven't finished Witcher 3, for example. I didn't finish Oblivion. I mean, a lot of those games, again, they're all time sinks, but I'd love to finish them one day. One day, Pappy, one day. Get around to it. StarCraft just takes up all my time. Have Gumiho gonna be kiting back again and getting into his opener. It's gonna be a Rax expand into a okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's gonna be a Rax expand into the factory, but we're going for a Marauder after the Reaper. Interesting. Okay, Gumiho, you have my attention. We're rushing into Marauders. This is a build that he does like to whip out from time to time. It can punish the initial Adept if Hero is a little bit too aggressive. Speaking of, Adepts are moving out. We do catch the Reaper. Ooh, Reaper does fall. Zero heads across the map towards that natural base. Speaking of, Marauder is lying in wait. Do get a couple of hits in, but we have additional Marauders on the way. They have been scouted. Hero confirming the concussive shell is in production as well. Did just begin. And with the help of these Marauders, we are shutting down these Adepts. Can we get one? Up! Ooh, we barely get one. We don't get the other. Hero does escape. Behind this, we have our take of choice. It'll be a Twilight Council opener. My mind was thinking of other games, so it's going to be a Blink-based opener here from Hero. Prediction. Oh, I already said it. It's all good. But it's going to be a Twilight Council base opener here out of Hero going into Blink. We have 2 more gates on the way. It's going to be 4-gate Blink out of Hero. Let's go. A much more aggressive build from our Protoss player. 4-gate Blink. Prism is on the way. And we should soon be pushing. Should soon be moving out at the same time. Gumiho is the first to move out with his Marauders. How many? So 3 Marauders, 2 Hellions. We have a Marine mixed in as well. We're dropping in towards that main. We are in position. Blink is not done. We're 5 seconds away. How many do we get? We get 1 Stalker. We get a 2nd Stalker as well. But it's going to cost us all of these Marauders as Blink kicks in. Not the worst trade, but what I'm concerned about is the counterattack. I'm concerned about Hero pushing out across the map, hitting that natural. We have 1 tank finishing up. We have a bunker on the low ground. No bunker in the main. Oh, and Hero, he can just bypass the natural, go for the main base instead. Hero has options. And Gumiho, he's in a bit of trouble. Even when it comes to that bunker, we only have 2 Marines. We only have 2 Marines in position. Hero does see an opening. Viking comes out in time. Tank fully goes off on the Stalkers. We do not stop. We go for a massive warping of Stalkers. There is a 2nd tank in the main. Hero's committing. Dives in. Gets 1 tank. Is going to get the other as well, but it's going to cost us a lot of Stalkers. As both tanks barely go down. Oh, my God. Both tanks go down, but it costs us everything. We have 2 Stalkers left. Ay, ay, ay. How many was that? That was 9 Stalkers going down. That was brutal. Again, that 2nd tank arrived just in the nick of time. Gumiho defends. And this was a costly trade for Hero. Again, 11 Stalkers for 2 tanks and a handful of Marines. 2 Marines, like barely anything. That was not worth it. With that, so Gumio. Yeah, just shutting down whatever's left. Hero reinforcing with more Stalkers. Behind this, we should be transitioning. We're going for 4 more gateways. We're going for 8 gates and a Dark Shrine. Are we just doubling down and going 2 base all in? we couldn't. All these gateways could have been a 3rd base. We could have expanded, but no. Hero, he wants to go for it. I mean, he's already invested so much already. May as well, I guess. We got 5 workers. Good juggling here with the War Prism. But the Prism is going to go down to the Vikings. Big pickup. The Prism falls. We clean up the Zealots. We defend the ramp. Hero cannot break through. We are going for that Dark Shrine. Okay, so a couple of things. We have a 3rd CC on the way. We are muling quite hard, but we have a safety turret. We have a turret at the natural. Did we scout this? Checking the vision. We have. Hero, he sees, he knows. There is a turret in the natural. We don't have detection in the main. Hi streamer, who's your favorite C player? Why is it NXZ? NXZ Ryan? Ryan, he's maybe like top 5? Maybe. Yo, you can't ask me who's my favorite C player, and I can't ignore Oreo. He's my boy. But here we go. The Prism goes down. DT's a bust into the mineral line. We have a scan. Once again, Hero committing so hard. He does only lose 1 DT. Oh. Only 1 DT goes down. We don't have another scan yet. We need a couple more seconds. 45, 46, 47. We need that 50. But a nice spread here from Hero. Going for the tank. We have 1 scan just above. The tank goes down. We get 2 Dark Templar. Not a bad scan. And there we go. 3rd scan as well. At the same time, Hero pushing in. Is finally expanding. Taking a 3rd base behind this. Finally taking another base. Hero backs off, and he has thrown away so much. 3 prisms! He's lost 3 War Prisms over the course of this game, and 15 Stalkers. My god. And Gumio's ahead. Gumio, he has a 3rd. Meanwhile, Heroes is still on the way. Gumio is up in SCVs. He has 58 workers compared to the 51 of Hero. And Gumio is just settling into the rest of his production, the rest of his upgrades. Hero's in a rough spot here. Oh no, don't make another prism. No, don't lose it. Hero doesn't care about his prisms. He just throws them away. Calm down, Pop. Take care of them. Here we go. Hero moving out once again. Does get eyes on the army. Gumio with the supply lead. The army is spotted. Confirmed. Hero, can he catch out some of these units though? Charge is done. We're going for the Vikings. Vikings are picked up. Good force field as well. We shave off some extra Marines. And these Marauders, they're putting in a lot of work in the back line. Yeah, these 3 Marauders, they're the backbone of Hero's army. And he's pushing in. And so far doing well for himself. The boys, they have to be pulled. Liberator has arrived. Prism comes in. Get out of here, War Prism. As we summon forward, we dive on the army. We focus on the War Prism. The Warpin is denied. And Gumio, he shuts this down. He can focus on every single Immortal. The Immortals, the Stalkers. It did cost us 13 SCVs, but Gumio, he can afford to lose 13 SCVs. He's still ahead in workers. Still ahead in economy. Charge out, they rush on forward. We do focus on the medevacs. Good target firing at a hero, but it's still going to cost us too much. Oh, the Stalkers. Only 1 survives. Another War Prism. That's 5. The 5th War Prism comes in. Is 5th time the charm? I mean, hey, we have some chargelets. We have some stalkers as well. Hero trying to force his way through. Mind Shot's going to be going off though. Nice micro out of Hero. He does pull away in time, but there are no more zealots, no more reinforcements. And Hero, he's running out of steam. He's running out of army. As he escapes with 5 stalkers, we go for the skin. We're looking for a 4th. There is none. As Gumiho is getting his own 4th base. Well, lifting up his main, taking it as a 4th. And Hero, I mean, he's still all in. He has to be. That's all he can do. There's no macroing out of this. He's pushing in once again. But it's just not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough, motherfucker. We have a scan. GT goes down. Behind this, we can see that Hero is working towards Colossus production. He's getting to a 4th base. Does get a medevac. Impressive. Medevac for a stalker. Like, good pickups here from Hero, but again, it's Gumiho who has just an overwhelming army. And we are pushing. We're making our way towards that 4th, and it's not going to finish. Colossus coming in. Good starter stepping out of Gumiho. Does focus it down. Good mind his dodge, and Gumiho just collapsing this army from both ends. From the front, from behind. Second Colossus about to pop out. The army is overstimmed, but yeah, we're going for the 3rd base. It's going to go down. We cancel the 4th. We kill the 3rd. Again, Hero, he was so aggressive this game, and he was punished for it. Punished for his aggression. The initial 4-gate blink did fall on its face. If you remember, he dove into 2 tanks. That was the moment when Gumiho gained control of the game. When Hero threw away 11 stalkers for 2 tanks. That was just the beginning of the end, and Hero, he followed it up with another all-in. But the deficit was just too great. As we are pushing in towards the base, at the same time, drop across the map into the main base, getting 12 probe kills. 12 workers go down. We snipe the tech. Going for like a weird base trade, a base trade that I don't think Gumiho even needs to commit to. As he kills the main Hero, he's down to 1 final base. The boys are being pulled. We dive on the army. Good force field. But Gumiho, he doesn't even care. He collapses on everything, cleans it up. And there's nothing left here for Hero. GG gets called, and Gumiho takes game number 1. GG. GG, Poppy. Congratulations, Gumiho does take the first game. Again, a very interesting game was played there where Hero committed to 4-gate blink, and he misjudged a little bit. He did not see the second tank. When he was pushing across the map after he cleaned up the Marauder drop, if you remember, Gumiho opened up with a Marauder drop. Hero went 4-gate blink. Hero was looking to punish Gumiho, and I do think he could have, but Gumiho, he squeezed out a second tank, and it sieged up just in time for the blink into the main. With that, massive volleys went off, and Hero lost all of his stalkers. He just smashed his face against a brick wall. Gumiho held, and from there, Gumiho was able to maintain his lead, able to snowball out of control. GG. Game 1 is in the books. Now we're getting into game number 2. Now, as a reminder, this is still a best of 5. I don't think game 1 was really too indicative of Hero's play and his skill. Again, I would say the Hero was a little bit stubborn more than anything in game 1. But now we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Dragon Kai Z Gaming. It is Hero. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Cloud9. It is Gumiho. Let's go. Here we go. Rainer partying in Gangnam, papi. True, true. As Gumio is going for a proxy. Let's go. We have the racks being thrown down. Now we are setting up a Reaper Wolof here at the Reaper Cliff. But I'm curious if Gumiho, is he crazy enough to lift and go proxy Marauder in the main base of Hero? We did open up double gas. Is it just Reaper, or are we looking to spice things up even harder, even more? He had a few other things to do. I see, I see. Shout out to Green Soup as well. He's our lovely admin for today's tournament. Big shout out. Actually, who's your favorite C player? Yeah. As we're doing it. We're going for the Marauder into the main. He's crazy. Is this within vision? Oh, we do see the racks. We did see it floating just barely. Did Hero notice across the map? He does confirm that the racks is missing. Yep, it's proxy Marauder into the main base. Very bold move here by Gumiho. And Hero, he only caught a glimpse for a second. He's confirming that the racks is missing, but it could be anywhere. It could be at the natural, could be at the third, it could be proxied in the center of the map. Marauders are on the way. And this is designed to just snowball out of control to get some economic damage done as well. I mean, Gumiho is not all in, he's transitioning behind this, but this still needs to trade well. Hero, does he check? No, he's not checking. He's still in the main. This probe is still in the main base. Marauders are amassing, by the way. We have one, we're getting into two. Ooh, when this Stargate finishes, it's going to be able to see. The vision will increase and we will be able to see that racks. By then, though, we're going to have at least two, maybe even three Marauders. Hero being annoying across the map, does throw in the pylon. Elliot shuts down the probe. Yep, we're up to two Marauders at this point. Gumio, he does see the Stargate. He's aware he's on a bit of a timer. He's aware that once it finishes, Hero will see. Hero, he's moving out with his adepts. He has nothing at home, and we're going in! We're going for the probes. Going for the mirror line. Workers are being pulled. So far, we haven't lost anything yet, but there we go. One probe goes down. We get one, we get two. Three Marauders have arrived. Hero, he commits across the map. Getting some SCVs. And he's forced to recall. Forced to recall back home. Does he have enough? Again, this choke point is brutal. Yeah, we're reducing that surface area. Probes are falling left and right. We get 4 worker kills. We get 5. We get 6. We get 6 workers, 8 workers. Hellies, they come in from behind. They line up. Oh my god, we annihilate the mineral line. Everything goes down. 15 SCVs go down. Sorry, 15 probes go down. And that's game-ending damage. That's too much. We're down to 10 workers. They're Hellions. The barbecue was real. They came in from behind. And Hero, before we can really get into game 2, he's down to 12 workers. Did I say 12? I meant to say 10. Can we get another? We can! 19 workers go down, and behind this, Gumiho, he's expanding. He's getting to Cyclone production. Starport's on the way. Gumiho, he's chilling. And Hero, he's in the world. He's struggling. He's in a world of hurt right now. Yeah, the probes. There was a trap all along. The Hellions from behind was insane. And from here, the Oracle has a lot of work to do, but we have Cyclones back at home. GG gets called as soon as the Cyclones are revealed, and Gumiho takes a 2-0 lead in the grand finals. GG. Oh my god. The cojones, baby. The balls on Gumiho are insane. Again, like, to go for the proxy in the main base. We've seen it before. We've even seen, like, proxy factory in the main base before as well. But it was so close there. So close to the vision of Hero. And Hero, he actually did see that floating racks for once, for a split second. Maybe even half a second. But that was not enough for Hero to notice. And unfortunately, he didn't take it seriously, or he didn't think to check his main base, of course. He assumed that maybe the racks was elsewhere. He would be safe and sound. It was anything but. And one more game is all Gumiho needs. Uno más to take the series. Uno más. Is Oreo a duckling? He is. He is a duckling. Of course he is. What do you mean? This is why. This is wild, Poppy. He's crazy. He's crazy. Just catching up, and here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkyone. We have our South Korean Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Dragon KZ Gaming, DKZ. The best Protoss in Korea, the best Protoss in the world, arguably the best Protoss in the world. But down in this series, he needs to fight back here and now. But this has been a chaotic one. Can we pull it off? Can we pull off a reverse sweep? We have Hero. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. He's wild, he's crazy, he's chaotic. He's a madman, and he's leading the series 2-0. One more win is all that he needs. It is Gumiho for Cloud9. Also, I was advised that the music is a little bit too loud, so un momento here. Let's lower it a little bit. Go. Lowering that music, and hopefully, again, give us some feedback if some of the audio levels are too high for something or another. Let us know. As we're settling into our game, we're settling into game number 3. Oh boy, Gumiho, what do you have for this? What do you have for us this time? This time, economic opener. It's going to be a Rax expand. Only one gas has been taken, so this should be leading into a CC. Whether it's on the low ground or on the high ground, yet to be determined. But an economic build from our Terran player. Hero this time comes in with a probe scout. I mean, he came in last time. And with this scout, he's going to be able to confirm and even try and disrupt the build. His force to the low ground. CC is on the way, and oh, it gets thrown down. The probe not quite in position. Hero does not block. And Hero confirms it's an economic build. Oh, as he's going for the SCV. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Almost. SCV barely does escape. Behind this, settling into our 2-base setup. Gate Cyber expand out of Hero. And the probe is being a little bit adventurous here. Ideally going to be avoiding that Reaper. You can see the Reaper is scouting here at the triangular third. Rotating over towards the left-hand side, and he does come across the probe. Yeah, the probe is scouted. The probe is shut down. Good catch from Gumiho. Hero now with limited scouting information. Behind this, we're going to a factory, getting into, I imagine, a starport. Hero once again going for a Twilight Council opener. It's going to be Blink. Now, whether it's 2, 3, or 4 gateways, yet to be determined. We saw Hero go 4-gate Blink in Game 1 on side Delta. We saw Hero be a little bit stubborn and be a little bit overly aggressive, and some of those decisions made on side Delta did cost Hero the game. But we'll see if he can recover here in Game 3. Would you still love see-through if he were a worm? I mean, how could you hate Sheldon? How could you ever hate Sheldon, Papi? Ay, ay, ay. Of course. We have a lot of love for Sheldon. Este Shelly. It depends. If he can still play GeoGuessr as a worm, then the love is there. If he can't, then we have some problems. we have problems, Papi. We have problems. As behind this, Hero getting into Blink. As I mentioned, it was the Twilight Council opener. We have our second gateway on the way from our Protoss. Meanwhile, Gumiho back at home. Ooh, going for a second Rax before Starport. Okay, so a much more aggressive build out of Gumiho. Again, because he delayed his Starport, that means delayed Medevac production. That means that we have prioritized Stim. We prioritize Stim over everything, or Stim and bio production in general. So Gumiho is going to have a bit of a stronger push initially. As we're settling into our 2-1-1. Hero behind this, it's 2-gate Blink into a third, so an economic build here out of Hero as well. We're settling into Alkyone. Again, this map is known for its macro play. It's known for its defendable third and defendable fourth. Speaking of, we can see Hero mining and gaining access to that fourth base as well. Making sure he has vision, making sure he keeps up with any kind of drop play, and yeah, we're kind of settling into a much more standard mid-game. Despite the chaotic nature of Game 1 and Game 2, we're calming things down here in game number 3. MaxX might be the best if he ever showed up in person. Maybe. I mean, based on recent results, I would still favor Hero over MaxPax, but I mean, you can make an argument. Obviously, you can make an argument for either player. I think for now I'm leaning more towards Hero, but I could be convinced of MaxPax. I think the other downside is that we just see less of MaxPax just because he doesn't play these big premier events. But here we go, double jump into the main. We spoke about it. This is the 2-on-1 timing. Stim is done, by the way. We bust into the mineral line. And what do we have to defend? We have one Stalker, two Stalkers go down. Rest of the army not quite here. We do depower the Robotics Bay and the Forge. And Gumiho, again, he's getting a lot done here. Blink is done, and we can shut down two more Stalkers. Yeah, as Blink is on cooldown, we get a third Stalker as well. We focus on even more probes. And this 2-on-1 timing, this double drop, has paid for itself. I mean, big delay on Extend Thermal Lance, big delay on +1, 7 probe kills, how many Stalkers? 5 Stalkers for 12 Marines. A good trade for Gumiho. And behind this, getting his third base on location. Again, Hero just wasn't expecting the double drop at that moment. That build in general, I mean, we haven't scouted the main, didn't know what was coming his way. And I should also give credit to Gumiho in saying that this build that he went for, this kind of 2-on-1, is not seen too often in this matchup. Is more of a rarity against Protoss. But here we go, Gumiho stimming on forward, pushing in towards that natural Colossus, does arrive in time. Hero holds. Hero, he's going to be able to hold on. The tank does siege. Gumiho taking a fight. Ooh, he's going to be cleaned up. Does take down a couple of these Stalkers, but not the trade that I think Gumiho was hoping for. Again, he was caught out. Drop gets away. Gumiho getting into his third. Whew, and the game is settling down. Now, Hero has been delayed, so any kind of +1 or +2 timing you want to go for is going to be a little bit later than he would have liked. It's settling into his upgrades. Likewise, Gumiho getting his own third up and running as well. And basically we're just waiting for Gumiho to build up towards his push. Like Hero, he's still recovering, he's still stabilizing, getting into a 4th base, working towards his upgrades, building up his Colossus. Hero can't really be active because he lost so much already. Hero, he's stuck at home, which is why we're looking more to Gumiho to be active instead. Now, what's a little bit worrisome for Gumiho is that, again, this map is quite defendable on 3 and 4 bases. We can be in position here and we can rotate quite easily between our bases as well. So Hero can stabilize on this map. I would like the idea of Gumiho maybe being a little bit greedier. And here we go, 4 CC. 4 CCs on the way for Gumiho. Working towards a Ghost Academy. We have 2 in production as well. Wouldn't even be opposed to Gumiho taking his 4th as the gold even. Hero is still chilling back at home, throwing down a ring of pylons. Getting into disruptor production, as he already has his 3 Colossi. You can see here that his army is quite small, but I mean, he's got all of his key units. He's got his 3 Colossi, working towards disruptors. Doesn't have much buffer, so he can't really engage. Has to be careful. Tank does siege. And tank volley is going to be going up as well. Hero going for the gold! Bold move by Hero, we'll see if he can get away with it. Here we go. So do you see Hero peeling off a couple of Zealots, going for Zealot run right towards the left-hand side. Zealots towards the right-hand side as well. And ideally this drags back the army, but we have tanks to defend. We clean up the Zealots, at least the first wave. And there's a mineral wall here as well. We're trying to push in. It does come in from behind. The tank is going to go down. Good cleanup by Hero. Takes down the tank. It will bleed out a lot of Zealots. Unfortunately. And we are running into 4 tanks. Yeah, there's no pushing up this ramp. Hero has to respect this position. Poking in, he wants that turret. Wants the center tower. And he gets it. Gets the tower, backs off. The goal base is slowly getting up and running. And here he's done quite well for himself. He's back up to, what, 3 disruptors. He's working towards his 4th and 5th disruptor as well. I don't think Hero can quite push in, but he's got a decent force now. And this goal base will help when it comes to just maxing out, reinforcing his army with zealots, with stalkers, going into a massive DT warp in. And there they are. How many Dark Templar? 10 DTs moving out across the map. Let's go. Again, pushing into all these tanks, it's not going to happen. At least not towards the center. Pushing on the right-hand side, never goes up. Does graze a tank. Oh. Getting a couple of Marines. Planetary is done. No detection, though. We're waddling in. We're going for the base. Yeah, Blink is done. We dive on the Planetary, and it's going to go down. 3 swipes is all it takes. Big pick off. We get the Planetary. We get the tower. And Gumiho. Now it's knocked down to 3 bases. Gumiho is about to max out himself. Hero is the first, though. He's pushing out, diving into the tanks. At the same time, the Colossi, they are exposed. Big EMPs. Nova's going off. The splits out of Gumiho does focus on the Colossus, but here come the Zealots on top of the tanks. Tanks are going down. Stalkers through the left-hand side. Yeah, and Gumiho, he cannot take his 4th base. GG gets called. His army is broken. And Hero puts a point on the board. Whew. GG. Hero does put a point on the board. Let's go. Again, despite the damage that he took earlier from the 2-1-1, Hero, I love that if you remember, he didn't really warp in any units. He didn't warp in any Stalkers, any Zealots. He stayed on a really low gateway army count, preserving his resources and spending it in his economy. You know, probing up, getting his 4th, getting his 5th base as the gold, focusing on teching as well into Disruptors, into Colossus. He was a little bit greedy. It does mean that if Gumiho pushed, if he moved out, then Hero would probably die. Honestly, like, Hero just did not have a lot to defend there. So he cut some corners, did cut out a lot of his army, until towards the end there, where he was able to reinforce, max out, make use of his economy. Whew, and pull Gumiho apart. GG. GG, well played. We have a series, that's all I ever wanted. A back and forth. It's not going to be a 3-0, thankfully. And can we force an ace match? Can we go the distance and go to game 5? Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our South Korean Protoss player. Our South Korean Protoss putting a point on the board, fighting back and forcing game number 4. Representing CranKy Gaming, can he force the ace match? It is Hero. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Cloud9. Still 1 game away from winning it all. It is Gumiho. 1 more game is all he needs. Delayed 2-on-1 is limited earlier. Yes. So if you remember, it was not a double Rax before factory. It was a Rax factory Rax from Gumiho. So it was a little bit more delayed there. Did take a little bit more time to get into it, but regardless, we're now getting into game number 4. Here we go. Ghost River is going to be an interesting one. Again, short rushes to my ground, double gas opener out of Gumiho. Interesting. With this, we're going to be going for a faster factory this time. Makes sense on a map as small as Ghost River. Is it a best of 5? Yes, it is a best of 5. Not a best of 7. You got any grapes? Ah. Where are the grapes, Pappy? Where are the grapes? Give it. As there's that factory on the way, Hero, he does confirm, did confirm the gases, confirms the factory as well. Now, I wouldn't put it past Gumiho to go for a one base all in. We have seen Gumiho go for a 1-1-1 in the past and just not expand and go for a one base all in and pull the boys. We'll see though, as Gumiho is going for the expansion, thankfully. We'll soon have enough resources and we'll go for the expand on the low ground. No one base all in out of our terrain. Okay, we passed like our first hurdle. Now we're entering the early game. Do you have a Stargate opener? This is interesting. Okay, so Hero is going for a Stargate. If this was any other player, I would assume Phoenix's, but this could just be an Oracle opener from Hero. This is a little bit scary. In general, Twilight Council openers are a little bit safer, just because you have Blink Stalkers to work with to shut down early game aggression. So we'll see how Hero pieces this all together. Gumiho going for a Widowmine. Okay. Not going for any kind of Hellion Reaper aggression early on. Going for a Widowmine instead. Only making the one Hellion before backing up. And Hero is going to attempt to chase him down. Oh, good grenade here out of Gumiho. Does get one Adept, but it costs him 2 Reapers and the Hellion as well. As can we chase this down? It's gonna be close. Oh, we do. We shut down the Reapers. We shut down the Hellion for 1 Adept. Good trade there from Hero. Oracle is on the way. Yep, that's what we assumed. Was going to be an Oracle opener, not Phoenix. We're getting into Phoenixes thereafter. Okay. Phoenixes are still going to be on the way behind this as your Oracle pushes. Back at home, Gumiho did not get across the map. He did not scout the opener, so we're going for a safety Cyclone. As I say that, we're going for a drop across the map, which means we have nothing at home to defend. Oh, the Oracle's coming in. And what shoots off? There's no Cyclone. The Marines are just now popping out. We do shut down just barely the Widowmine. And we're pushing in. Uh-oh, and Gumiho, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. We do use a Revelation, a bit of a waste. We commit to the Shade. Again, 2 Marines down to 1 Marine left. And now 0 Marines. Yeah, they're all being shut down. Workers are falling left and right. Meanwhile, across the map, likewise, we have Phoenixes to defend. We lift up the Cyclone. We will clean this up. And the Adepts are still wreaking havoc. It's going to be 13, 14, 15 SCVs going down. Ay. The drop gets shut down, and now we can keep pushing. Gumiho, he's hurting so much here. Again, such an unfortunate move out. Gumiho, he had no idea that there was an Oracle, had no idea that there was a Stargate opener. Was not ready. Does have a tank at least, but that's where the Phoenixes come in. We can lift the tank. And we dive on the army. GG gets called. There's nothing left, and we are going to game 5. We have an ace match. Let's go. GG. A very chaotic start to the game. Again, it's so unfortunate there that Gumiho moved out when he did. If he had scouted the Stargate, he would have stayed at home. Especially if he saw the Oracle coming, he would have stayed at home, stayed in the mineral lines, protected his bases. Alas, he went for a gamble, went for a drop, and he was punished for it. And with that, we're going to game 5. Let's go. We are going all the way to game number 5. Going to game number 5 here. It's going to be on Crimson Court. I don't think you could quite top Dano versus Snitzel. I'm familiar with Snitzel. Is Dano... Hold on. Oh my god. Is that Sano? No, otherwise you just call him Sano. No, not it. Unfamiliar. Before my time. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our Red Protoss player. The Red Protoss tying up the series 2-2, forcing the ace match by coming back from the brink. Representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming, DKZ, can he pull off the reverse sweep? Rarely seen, but he is 1 game away from doing it. He has momentum on his side. It is Hero. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Cloud9. He was up 2-0, and now he's being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Gumiho. Let's go. Let us go. As we do see Gumiho going for a Rax further back in his main. Interesting, not walling off at the ramp. Is spotted by Hero. Again, usually when you do this, you hope to force an overreaction. If Hero did not go into the main, but he does confirm. Does confirm what's going on. And we'll see how Hero does open up this time. Showing that he's willing to mix it up and go into a Stargate opener as well. Gumiho has to be that much more careful. Getting into a Marine opener, not a Reaper opener. Okay. Going for the Marine first. Meanwhile, Hero back at him going for a Gate Cyber Expand. Next is on the way. And there's that CC from Gumiho on the high ground. Just to be safe, just to be secure. Ooh, the probe does go down. And now we're easing our way into the early game. Into game 5. Let's go. Let us go. Did we have a late game this cup? That's a good question. We kind of did. I mean, we had Hero carrier rush against Bjorn, and to be fair, I say carrier rush. It was like 5 base versus 5 base. So yeah, we did have a bit of a late game between Hero and Bjorn earlier on site Delta. I kind of spoiled it a little bit there, but Hero did rush into carriers and caught Bjorn with his pants down. As Bjorn did not have enough anti-air when the carriers revealed themselves. It was a good game. It was a good series. I recommend it. Do recommend it. I do think that was our longest game though. Outside of, yeah, side Delta, Bjorn versus Hero. All the others were a little bit shorter, a little bit more chaotic. As things usually are here in Korea. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Should be for Blink. Blink is on the way. Blink is in production. As Gumiho once again going for that Rax before Starport. Okay. Are we rushing to Stim again? Are we going for another 2-1-1 variation? How is Gumiho going to piece this together again? An aggressive build. Tech Lab is done. We are not going for the add-on swap. We're going for a fast tank. We are! Uh-oh. Really fast tank production here from Gumiho. This looks like a 2-base all-in. Again, Cyclone straight into tank production. Already. Before any kind of starports. We're getting into, of course, our eventual stim timing. Starport now on the way. Adepse get into the natural base. We do manage to get a couple of SCVs. Not bad. We get 2. We get 3. Can we get 4? Not quite. But not a bad pickoff here. 3 SCVs for 1 worker. Sorry, for 1 adept. Hero expanding. It's going to be 2-gate blink into a 3rd. Ooh, economic build out of Hero. And I'm waiting for the stim timing. Like, this stim timing is going to be brutal. We're going to have, I think, 3 tanks. We already have 1. We have the 2nd that's halfway done. Yeah, we're going to have 3 tanks by the time stim is done. Maybe even 4. I'm going to be conservative and say 3 there. Now, Hero is thankfully making a safety immortal. I'm checking his vision here. Earlier, that was the same Rax. He hasn't seen the 2nd Rax with the timing of the starport. Hasn't seen much in the main. Yeah, Gumiho, he's amassing his army. Medevacs have arrived. Okay, we're going for an initial drop. Their tank is coming out. And the Observer does spot the army. Oh, we spot the Observer! Observer gets sniped. Keen eyes there from Gumiho. 3rd tank has arrived. And here we go, we're pushing. Oh boy, Stim is going to finish by the time, or if we do move out, by the time the army gets across the map. Stim is going to be done. It's done in 10 seconds. And do we pull the boys? That's what I'm curious about. No, are we going for a 3rd CC? Okay. I see you. Here comes that move out. Marines already across the map. We're slowing down the army. Forcing out Blinks. Gumiho trying to catch these Stalkers, by the way. We're going for the surround. Yeah, we stim on forward. We dive on the army. And how many Stalkers do we get? We get one. Ooh. Maybe we get two. Two Stalkers go down. Immortals have arrived, but the tanks say siege. Yeah, bunkers are on the way. Bunkers are going to be denied. Good pick us up by Hero. Does deny the bunkers. More reinforcements on the way. Hero, can he hold on? Gumiho did not start his third. Has an SCV, but he is still very committed here. I was expecting him to pull the voids with this, not gonna lie. And we dive with the tanks. Oh, 3 Immortals. They focus out the tanks one after the other. 2 tanks go down. But there's still 2 more, and we're within range of the overcharge. Yeah, Hero, he's holding. He breaks through the bunkers, breaks through the tanks. And Hero, he shuts this down. And Hero, he only loses 1 Immortal. Oh my god, 1 Immortal for 4 tanks. Blink over the wall. And now here comes the counterattack. 3 Immortals, Mass Stalker with Blink. Third base is still on the way. We have 1 tank in position. And Gumiho is in trouble. If only the army was all together. This is a little bit awkward. Hero's army is a little bit fragmented. Tankers revealed. Immortals are coming from behind. We catch the Immortal, but where's the support for the Immortals? We catch the tank. Where's the support for the Immortals? As 1 Immortal goes down, but it's just too much. GG gets called. And Hero, he snowballs out of control, shuts down the army, and Hero pulls off the reverse sweep, becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. GG. Yeah, baby, God. GG, well played. Hero shutting down the all-in. Again, Gumiho was so committed with that. I'll be honest, I thought he was going to pull the voids. I assumed when I saw the early tank production, I assumed that we were going to be pulling the voids with this. We only pulled a couple for the bunkers. The bunkers were cancelled initially, if you remember. Gumiho was slowed down. And Hero, with that engagement, he was within range of the overcharge. That was brutal. For the Immortals to be supported by the overcharge while it was focusing down tanks and bunkers, that was insane. The defensive setup was just a little bit too good there for Hero. He just shuts down the aggression, shuts down the all-in. And Gumiho had nothing to defend. If he had traded a little bit better, if he had reset the Immortal count, then maybe the game goes on. But against those 3 Immortals, even with them being exposed on the right-hand side, it did not even matter. Hero breaks through, and Hero is our champion, winning 3 games in a row. Damn. Mom spaghetti. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Hero. My condolences to Gumiho. Again, he was so close. He was so close to taking this entire series. He had a very impressive start, but alas, Hero, he feels no pressure. You know, he thrives here in this kind of format, in this dynamic. You know, he can be down 2-0, but nah, he'll just win all the games. Don't worry about it. Hero, he's amazing. Best Protoss in Korea. Arguably the best Protoss in the world. GG, well played. Whew. And we are done for the night. We are wrapping up. We've crowned our champion, and we don't have another broadcast tonight. I know we've been spoiled. We've been spoiled with the non-stop WTL, but World Team League is coming back on Friday for round 3. Is coming back on Friday, and we don't have any other broadcast lined up here tonight, which means we can go to sleep early today. When I say early, I mean before midnight. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Our next broadcast is going to be on Wednesday. We don't have a cast tomorrow. It is going to be on Wednesday. It is going to be Kung Fu Cup. WTL Kung Fu Cup round 3 is on Wednesday, followed by the House Open Cup, followed by WTL on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Plenty of StarCraft going on. Plenty of StarCraft on the horizon. We also have KSL over the weekend. KSL on Saturday. That's the Korean StarCraft League. So if you want some more Korean StarCraft, we got you covered during KSL and during Kung Fu Cup. And with that, we are done. We are done here for the night. We are done for the day. GG. GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We are all over the place. All things CranKy Ducklings. If you're a subscriber, you can, of course, join our Discord. You gain access to our replay packs. You can support us on Patreon if you want to fund our tournaments. We do host events on a weekly basis. You can support us. down there, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. Otherwise, thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We'll see you guys on Wednesday for some Kung Fu Cup action. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. See you then. Hasta luego, papi, hasta luego. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who, but we'll find someone. I do know that Rainer's playing Fallout, but usually we stream people playing StarCraft, so we'll find someone to raid. So give them a chance, give them some love, give them some support. Otherwise, see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Gracias. Thank you for everything. See you then.